Chen Feng's consciousness poured into the virtual world like a tide, and the cold feeling of the helmet instantly dissipated, replaced by the pungent smell of soil and weeds from Novice Village. The sun shines on the dilapidated wooden fence, and the era of fantasy, with 1 billion players, is bustling with activity. There are groups of novices around, killing the level 1 hare in the flash of sword light, and the system prompts are tinkling. Hey, that idiot who works alone, wants to kill elite monsters in novice commoner clothes? A level 5 armored wolf can kill you with 1 claw. A warrior player wearing tattered leather armor laughed and pointed, and several archers nearby laughed. Looking at his operation, he probably doesn't even know how to basic combos. The Shadow Demon Guardian in the mine. That's a level 10 hidden boss. Even the guild bosses don't dare to challenge it alone. Are you going to give it away? Chen Feng's face was expressionless, his eyes locked on the huge armored wolf in the grass at the entrance of the village. The monster's health bar was as high as 500 points. The iron spikes around its body reflected the sunlight, and its roar shook the ground slightly. Other players watched from a distance and whispered, "Another pretender. He will be sent back to the city in a moment. It will be embarrassing." The armored wolf pounced, its huge claws tearing through the air and causing a roaring wind. Chen Feng made a mistake in his steps, dodged sideways like a ghost, and accurately penetrated the weak point of the monster's neck with the dagger in his right hand. Puff, blood spattered, and the damage number exploded, -248. The armored wolf's health bar dropped by half in an instant, and the players burst into exclamations. Holy shit! 1 sword critical hit 248. A novice swordsman only has an attack power of 20, how did he do it? The monster roared and counterattacked, its iron tail swept across, Chen Feng rolled to the ground, and the mud splashed with a fishy smell. The moment he bounced up, he struck 3 times in a row, each sword hitting the joint directly, -167, -189, -210. The armored wolf fell to the ground with a howl, exploding 10 copper coins and a piece of armor fragments. The system prompt sounded, "Congratulations to the player for killing the elite armored wolf, gaining 1500 experience, and triggering the hidden mission, Shadow Hunter, explore the abandoned mine and uncover the secret of the Shadow Demon." The onlooker's eyes widened, and a mage girl trembled, "Kill the elite in seconds, instantly." His movement can predict every step of the monster. Is this operation performed by a top professional player? The warrior player's face was ashen and he murmured, "Impossible, why is there such a monster in the novice area, the mine? There is a rumor that there is a level 10 hidden boss in that place. If you enter alone, you will die." Chen Feng ignored the ridicule and went straight to the abandoned mine outside the village. There was a gloomy wind at the entrance of the cave, and a damp musty smell mixed with sulfur smell hit your face. Hundreds of players had gathered at the entrance, watching from a distance and not daring to approach. I heard that the Shadow Demon Guardian has been refreshed. A level 10 hidden boss with 20,000 health and all AoE skills. The guild team has been wiped out 3 times. A shield warrior shouted, his tone full of fear. Chen Feng stepped in alone, and the sound of footsteps echoed in the dark passage. The players were furious, "Is that kid crazy? He went in alone and was looking for death. Bet a pack of cigarettes, he won't last 30 seconds. Laughs poured in, and some even started a live broadcast. "Brothers, watch the fun, this pretender is going to be torn into pieces by Shadow Demon." Deep in the mine, the torch swayed, Chen Feng pushed open the stone door, and his eyes suddenly opened up. A 10-meter-tall Shadow Demon Guardian stood in the center, shrouded in black mist, with scarlet eyes shining like a blood moon. A system announcement rang throughout the village, "Warning. Player, Maple Shadow, triggers the hidden boss, Shadow Demon Guardian, dual mode, surrounding players please do not interfere." Players outside the cave instantly became excited. Hundreds of people crowded into the entrance. The barrage in the live broadcast room flooded the screen, "Hidden boss duel. Is this kid Maple Shadow? That god who killed the wolf just now. Bullshit, Shadow Demon can kill people instantly with just one skill, Shadow Explosion. His novice equipment can't handle it. The boss roared, the ground cracked, and black mist swept in like tentacles. Chen Feng's heartbeat quickened and he quickly analyzed in his mind, Shadow Demon's weakness is in the core of its back. It moves slowly but has high range damage. There are pillars in the terrain that can be used to pull. Start the war, he shouted, piercing the boss's ankle with his dagger. -89. Weak damage appeared, and the boss's health bar only dropped 0.5%. The Shadow Demon roared angrily, smashing down his giant fist, causing the ground to explode and gravel to fly like cannonballs. Chen Feng dodged and jumped onto the stone pillar. The rubble brushed against his face, and he felt a hot pain. The hologram was 100% real. If you don't use taunts in this game, it would be a real death. Players outside the cave gasped, he hid. Avoided all the first wave of Shadow Blast AoE. The health bar has only dropped a little, how is he still alive? The novice resistance is only 50 points. The second wave of Shadow Demons summoned shadow clones, and 4 black shadows rushed at them, each with an attack power of 500. Chen Feng took a deep breath of the humid air in the cave, and with windy steps, he pulled around the pillar. The left clone is 0.3 seconds slower, the right is in the blind spot. The dagger flashed, -156, -178. The clone exploded, and the boss's main health bar dropped to 95%. Oh my god. He held the 4 clones, and only used the terrain to move, and the operation details were down to the millimeter level. An archer player's legs became weak and he murmured, this is not a human, but a god. The mocker's face turned pale, the equipment is only novice level, why is the damage so high? Is the talent at full level? The battle is heating up. The Shadow Demon went berserk, with 50% of its health bar remaining. The black mist around him turned into a storm, the vision in the cave was blurred, and the fishy wind blew against his face. The giant claw swept continuously, Chen Feng's HP dropped to 30%, and the alarm sounded piercingly. He gritted his teeth, weakness exposed. He jumped up and stabbed into the core of his back, critical hit -456. The boss wailed, and his health bar dropped by 10%. The players screamed, crit hit 456. The upper limit of the novice sword is only 300. What hidden effect did he trigger? The live broadcast barrage exploded, Maple Shadow is awesome. This wave of operations is worth the price. The boss's blood volume is approaching 20%, and he has charged up his special move, Shadow Scythe. The scythe tears the air, with a range of 100 meters, and no one can escape. Chen Feng's HP was only 5%, and red mist filled the edge of his vision. Players outside the cave shouted in despair, it's over. This skill is amazing in seconds, and Feng Ying is going to die. He's still moving. He jumped on the top of the pillar and reached a blind spot. A female player covered her mouth, her eyes as wide as copper bells. Chen Feng felt calm and calculated the trajectory. The radian of the sickle blade was 0.8 meters, and the height of the pillar was just right. The giant scythe swept across, and the wind pressure was like a knife cutting his skin. He rolled backwards at the last moment, and the scythe blade passed over his head. Stone chips fell like rain, making the ground pitted. Perfect avoidance. Hide, hide. Perfect positioning with 5% health, sure to kill without any damage. The whole place was dead silent, and then they burst into wild cheers, God. Feng Ying is a god. The taunting warrior collapsed on the ground, muttering, I was wrong, this operation can't even be compared to professional games. The boss's health bar plummeted. Chen Feng seized the opportunity and stabbed 10 times in a row, each attack accurately targeting its weak point, -389, -412, critical hit -567. Shadow Demon let out a shrill wail, and his huge body fell to the ground with a crash, and the black mist dissipated. The golden light soared into the sky, and the system's village-wide announcement was deafening, server-wide announcement. Player, Maple Shadow, single-handedly killed the level 10 hidden boss, Shadow Demon Guardian, and exploded with the divine equipment, Shadow Blade, attack plus 500, all attributes plus 100, special effect, Shadow Devour 50% blood-sucking, and the envy of all players in the village plus 10,000. The players at the entrance of the cave were so mesmerized that they knelt down and worshipped, godly outfit. Shadow Blade, with incredible attributes, worth hundreds of millions in cash. Feng became famous in one battle and became the #1 duel king in the entire server. Chen Feng picked up the long sword that shone with golden light. It felt cold to the bone, and the attribute panel appeared before his eyes. But at this moment, a low roar came from the depths of the mine, and a weirder black shadow slowly emerged. The system prompt sounded eerily, the hidden chain mission is triggered, the King of Shadow Demon has arrived, LV-15 ultra-rare boss, the duel mode has been locked. The expressions of the players outside the cave suddenly changed. What? Chain boss? Feng is really going to overturn this time? The black mist in the cave surged like a living thing, and the King of Shadow Demon slowly emerged. It was a giant shadow 20 meters tall, with a body like twisted black crystals, chains clanking around it, scarlet eyes like boiling lava, and a pungent smell of decaying sulfur, so strong that it made Chen Feng frown slightly. The system prompts a cold echo in my mind, the LV-15 ultra-rare boss, King of Shadow Demon, is locked in duel mode. Player, Maple Shadow, cannot escape, and the battle is about to be forced to start. HP 50,000, skills, Chain Strangulation, i.e., death level single target, Shadow Storm, full map AoE. Chen Feng's HP was only 5%, and a red alarm flashed at the edge of his field of vision. Players outside the cave saw this scene clearly through the live broadcast screen, and instantly went crazy. The warrior player who was kneeling in worship just now turned pale, his legs went weak and he knelt down, shouting tremblingly, "It's over, it's over. King of Shadow Demon. That's the legendary chain boss in the novice area. Even the 10-member Blood Ox Guild can't hold back the hatred. Maple Shadow's health bar is almost empty, this time he will really be strangled alive by chains and return to the city." An archer girl covered her mouth, tears welling up in her eyes. What a skill just now, the HP is 5%, and the king can be seconds with just one chain. The dream of being #1 in the singles duel in the whole server is shattered. The taunting party revived, and someone yelled in a weird way, "Is it too much to pretend to be cool? The Guardian is so lucky, and now the original shape is revealed, the novice equipment is against LV-15, the output limit is only 200, and it can't last 10 seconds. The King of Shadow Demon roared, and the chain shot out like a poisonous snake, making a harsh sound of metal friction. The lock went straight to Chen Feng's heart, and the wind pressure made his cheek hurt. Chen Feng sneered, and the attribute panel flashed in his mind, the Shadow Blade he just picked up has been automatically equipped on his right hand, and the blade of the sword is flowing with light. He shouted lowly, "Professor transfer confirmed." The system's golden light flashed, "Congratulations to the player, Maple Shadow, for equipping the artifact, Shadow Blade, triggering the hidden conditions, single-handedly challenged the Shadow Demon Guardian plus 100% Shadow Affinity, automatically changing the profession to Shadow Sword Master, hidden profession Karma, attack plus 500 plus 700, all attributes plus 100 plus 200, critical hit rate 30%, special, Shadow Bite blood-sucking 50%, Shadow Step 10 meters CD 5 seconds. Combat power increased by 2,000 points, current combat power, 3,500. The barrage in the live broadcast room was like an avalanche, it's overturned, Maple Shadow GG. The mentality is broken, this wave of blood loss, the envy value has returned to 0. The whole village's chat channel filled the screen with ridicule, hundreds of people watched from a distance, and the air was filled with excited whispers and the smell of earth. The players outside the cave widened their eyes. The live broadcast screen captured the changes in Chen Feng's panel. A mage player screamed, "Fuck. 3500 combat power. The average in the novice zone is only 200, and his power has skyrocketed by 2000. Shadow Sword Master. That's an S-level hidden job, with all the special effects for job transfer open." The taunting warrior opened his mouth in an O shape, and dropped his phone with a muffled sound. He muttered, "With the magic weapon and job transfer, is this guy cheating?" His health bar is still at 5%, but his faceplate is incredible. The chain approached, Chen Feng activated Shadow Step, and his figure turned into an afterimage and teleported. The lock was smashed into the air, and a 3-meter deep pit exploded on the ground. Rubble scattered like shrapnel, and the smell of sulfur became stronger. With a backhand sword, Shadow Blade tore through the black mist, -789. Critical hit. The king's health bar instantly dropped by 1.5%. When the chain was retracted, he had wrapped it around his back and stabbed 5 times in a row. Each blow brought blood mist into the body, -567, -612, critical hit -945. Shadow Bite heals +472. HP surged from 5% to 80%, and the red mist in his vision dissipated. His blood has returned. The Shadow Bite effect sucks 50%, and one sword brings back half of the blood. The archer at the entrance of the cave has bulging eyes, and his legs are so weak that he can't stand. The teammates next to him help him, but he is shaking like chaff. Operation plus divine equipment, there is no 0.1 second error in predicting the trajectory of the chain. The king moves slowly, but he pulls it like a child. The king roared and entered the shadow storm. The black mist around him turned into a tornado. The line of sight in the cave dropped to 0. The fishy wind mixed with screaming hit his face, and the AoE damage was -300 per second. The player was in despair. The storm will kill him, and the novice's resistance can't withstand 3 seconds. However, Chen Feng flashed with shadow steps, and the sword light flickered in the fog like a will-o'-the-wisp. Every time he teleported, he would stab the weak core, -823. Critical hit -1123. The health bar dropped by 20%, sucking blood and causing the HP to overflow. The live broadcast barrage was crazy, fairy operation. Teleport in the fog, DPS over 1000. No one in the server can match it. A shield fighter who once mocked sat down, his face as pale as paper. I just said that he overturned. Now the king's health is 40%, and he is not injured. The battle was fierce, the king's chains were fully opened, 10 iron chains blocked the space like a net, the clanking sound was deafening, and cracks spread on the ground. Chen Feng's HP dropped to 60%, but he roared, "Explosion!" The Shadow Sword Master's ultimate move, Shadow Devouring Slash, was activated, and the sword erupted into black flames, sweeping across the screen, -1567 × 5. Total damage 7835. The king wailed, the health bar was cleared, and the huge body disintegrated into black mist, and golden loot exploded, 100,000 experience, 500 copper coins, a golden pet egg, and job transfer scroll fragments. The system-wide announcement roared, server-wide announcement. Player, Maple Shadow, kills the LV-15 ultra-rare boss, Shadow Demon King, in a chain duel, the first kill in the server. Earn 100,000 experience, upgrade to LV-15, unlock the pet system. The envy value of all players in the server is +50,000, and the drop rate of divine equipment is increased. The novice village instantly boiled, players frantically shared screenshots, and the chat channel exploded. One person slaughtered 2 bosses. Maple Shadow's combat power is 3,500, the only one in the whole server of Shadow Sword Master. I took a screenshot. This operation is valuable, and it can be sold on the forum for hundreds of millions. Hot channels across the server. There was a flood of discussion. kill the boss by one person. A master appeared in the novice village, and the properties of the shadow-devouring blade were revealed: attack plus 700, critical hit 30%, blood-sucking 50%. Who will form a team? The live broadcast room exceeded 1 million in popularity, and the barrage was blocked. Feng Dad, take your son to fly. Chen Feng picked up the item, and the panel jumped to LV-15, the pet interface was unlocked, and the eggshell flickered with light. Shadow Demon Cub, a growth-type divine pet, initial skill Shadow Devouring Shield. He took a deep breath of the sulfur lingering in the cave, calmly closed the panel, turned sideways in a low-key manner, and teleported out of the crack in the side wall of the mine. Players outside the cave were still worshipping him in a carnival, and no one noticed that he had left, leaving only the empty boss corpse and the afterglow of golden light. In the grass at the entrance of the village, novices are still hunting hares, swords are clanging, and soil is flying. Chen Feng's figure passed by like the wind, and the shadow blade disappeared into the shadows, keeping a low profile without saying a word. Suddenly, a crisp female voice sounded, "Handsome guy, wait a minute. Are you the Maple Shadow God who was announced to the whole server just now?" The operation of single-handedly challenging two bosses is simply textbook level. Chen Feng paused slightly and looked back. A beautiful mage wearing a moon-white robe rushed over. His hair was as long as a waterfall, his skin was as good as snow, his eyes were as smart as stars, and his L12 level mark was shining. She was breathing slightly, and the blue light was flowing on the staff, exuding a faint scent of lavender. "I'm Xiao Zhixia, a mage of both ice and fire. I just watched the live broadcast, and your shadow step pulls, and the prediction rate is 100%, right? How can you hide a master like you in the novice area? Please form a team to level up, I will support you, you are in C position, and share your experience on double bosses." The passers-by players around heard this and immediately gathered around, wide-eyed and whispering, "Xiao Zhixia. Village beauty level mage, exquisite operation and incredible milk volume." She asked to form Feng. "This team is invincible." A warrior player said sourly, "You are so handsome." Feng left the field in a low-key manner. "We are still taking screenshots. He has already embraced the beauty." Chen Feng smiled slightly and nodded, "Okay, go to the elite area outside the village for leveling. The idea is simple, weakness analysis plus terrain utilization, your legal system output can keep up, and I will be the boss." Xiao Zhixia's eyes lit up, and she clapped her hands excitedly, "Okay. My ice and fire combo just makes up for your shadow step blind spot, look at me, frost fire blast, DPS breaks 800. The two formed a team in tacit understanding and ran towards the wilderness outside the village. The wind and grass were blowing in the wilderness, and the wild wolves were roaring and rushing toward them. Xiao Zhixia waved the frost and fire wand, and the ice cones and fireballs intertwined, and the numbers -456 and -521 surged. Chen Feng's shadow steps interspersed, and the sword light flashed, crit -1123. The blood bar of the wolf pack was cleared, and she was stunned. "Your critical rate. 30% trigger. With my control, the efficiency is doubled." During the sharing, her operation was delicate, and the amount of milk accurately replenished blood. Chen Feng commented, "Your CD control has an error of 0.2 seconds, professional level. The tacit understanding is like old acquaintances, leveling is like chopping melons and vegetables, and the experience is soaring." After reaching level 15, Chen Feng's pet interface popped up, and the shadow demon cub broke out of its shell. The little black shadow rubbed its legs, looking cute but with murderous intent. Xiao Zhixia came closer and exclaimed, "God's pet. Initial shield skill, resistance plus 200. The only one in the whole server." Suddenly, her staff trembled and pointed to the canyon in the distance outside the village. "Brother Feng, look. The energy fluctuations there are abnormal, and the purple light is flashing, like the entrance to a hidden copy. The holographic scan shows the LV-20 elite area. It is rumored that there is a pet evolution crystal. Go and explore. In the canyon, the wind swept the sand and dust, and there was a faint beast roar. The air was filled with an unknown sweet smell. The surrounding wild monsters stayed away from each other. A crack slowly opened, and purple light peered like eyes. A passing player saw it from a distance, and his expression suddenly changed. That energy, a hidden copy? Maple Shadow is going to cause trouble again. Chen Feng stared at the cracks in the canyon with squinted eyes. Purple light squirmed like veins, rolling out accompanied by low beast roars. The fishy sweet smell in the air was as strong as honey soaked in blood. The wind blew sand and dust into his face, mixed with fine mist and invaded his nasal cavity. He whispered, "The Shadow Cave, the first team copy in the novice area, is guarded by a group of LV-20 elites, and contains the King of Mist. It is rumored that the pet evolution crystal is in the leader's box. Go in." The little black shadow of the shadow demon cub murmured, and followed with its legs, and the shield around it shone slightly. Xiao Zhixia clenched her staff tightly, her moon-white robe blown by the wind, her face turned pale. "Brother Feng, level 20 team version. We are only level 15, the elite monster blood is 20,000, AoE is a wave of people in seconds. The whole server guild group has just launched, the Iron Blood Alliance failed last time, you and I, don't start the live broadcast to attract hatred." Her voice trembled, the aroma of lavender mixed with the sweetness, showing rare nervousness. Players passing by the wild wolf hunter stopped at a distance, wide-eyed, and whispered, "Maple Shadow has entered the level 20 edition. It's just a group of magic girls, no tank, no milk." The elite group swarmed up, and the fog blast AoE cleared the field. This wave of blood loss just killed the King of Shadow Demon, and now it is overturned on the live broadcast. A prophecy appeared in the chat channel, "Maple Shadow is crazy, the copy will give away people, and the taunting party will be resurrected." The crack swallowed the two figures, and the internal world twisted and unfolded. The maze was like an endless corridor, the walls were pulsating with black crystal veins, the ground was slippery, and the mist condensed into blood beads and rolled down. There were only 5 meters left in the field of vision, and the cold and damp smell penetrated the heart. The system prompts coldly, "Enter the team copy of Shadow Cave, the current team is 2/10, the difficulty is hell. The Gatekeeper Elite, Mist Shadow Assassin, times 20 refresh." Black shadows exploded in the fog, and 20 level 20 assassins appeared. The daggers flickered, and the wind roared towards him. The first wave locked on Chen Feng, -856. Fog explosion. The poisonous fog exploded, and his HP instantly dropped by 20%. His vision was filled with green fog, and the pain was like a needle pricking his bone marrow. Xiao Zhixia screamed, "Brother Feng. The elite DPS is over 800, the health bar is 25,000, our output can't keep up, focus the fire in 3 seconds and kill me." She blasted out a frost fire combo, -521, -456. She only scratched her body, her HP dropped to 30%, her robe was stained with blood, and the smell of lavender faded from her breath. Chen Feng's shadow steps flashed continuously, and the afterimages were pulled in the fog. Shadow Blade, erupted into black flames, shadow devouring slash. The sword light swept, -945 crit x 10 combos, with a total damage of nearly 10,000. The health bars of the 5 assassins were cleared, green equipment fragments exploded, and the blood was sucked back to full HP. But the remaining 15 roared, focused fire, chained and mist exploded, -1,200 AoE. His HP dropped by 50% for the first time, there was a faint sound of cracking bones, and the smell of bloody mist hit his nose. Xiao Zhixia was stunned, her staff shaking like a sieve, 20 points per person. Movement prediction is 0.05 seconds, DPS exceeds 1000. Frostfire, can't keep up with your rhythm, and my mentality is going to collapse. Assassins surrounded him, daggers rained down, the clanking sound was deafening, and the mist on the ground rolled like a living snake wrapping its feet. Chen Feng snorted coldly, "Step back 10 meters and spread your stance. Little beast, fully open the shadow bite shield, my main tank." The little black shadow roared, the shield expanded to cover the team, the resistance was plus 200 when inhaling the mist, the rebound damage was minus 200, and the assassin's health bar dropped slightly. Xiao Zhixia's legs went weak and she stepped back, her eyes widened, God's pet assists. The fog explosion will injure me. Give me a sip, Brother Feng, can you carry 20 of them alone? Your combat power is 3,500, and the hatred of the elites is locked. You can't hold on. Chen Feng roared, keep up with the output, aim at the core of the weak point. The cub protects her. His figure turned into a ghost, and his shadow step CD flashed 3 times within 5 seconds, pulling in circles, and the sword stabs were like rain, minus 823, critical hit dash 1123 times 3. The elite's health bar dropped by 30%, mist and blood spattered on the ground, and the pungent rancid smell filled the air. Xiao Zhixia gritted her teeth, and her blue eyes ignited, okay. Fully activate Frostfire Explosion. Fireballs and ice cones intertwined, dash 800 DPS exploded, filling the blind spot, and 5 elites fell to the ground wailing. She gasped in admiration, Brother Feng is a commanding spirit. If you position yourself into a diamond shape, my DPS will double. Your shadow step brings aggro, and the prediction rate is 100%, professional level. Players from outside the road peeked through the live broadcast of the canyon fissure. The screen was hazy and the barrage exploded, Maple Shadow enters the Hell Book. A team of 2 to massacre the elite group. Overturned. Xiao Zhixia, the top milk producer, is also panicking. Maple Shadow's HP is 50%. This wave is kneeling. A hunter player's knees softened and murmured, Godman operation, but the numbers are suppressed, and the hatred transfers, she will die. All the elites were wiped out, a low roar shook the wall deep in the passage, and the King of Mist emerged. The 15-meter-long mist body was twisted, the crown was like thorns, the fog dragons were circling around him, the scarlet eyes were locked, and the blood volume was 80,000. Skill tips, mist devouring, death-sucking blood, thorny mist storm, whole map instant kill AoE. The air was stagnant, the sweet smell turned into a life-threatening poisonous mist, and the vision was completely black. Xiao Zhixia's face turned pale, she stumbled back, and her staff fell to the ground with a muffled sound, leader. 80,000 blood, the guild group is stuck for an hour, the fog is unable to absorb blood, and the thorns will die when touched. Brother Feng, let's retreat, it's impossible for 2 people. Her voice trembled, tears slipped down in the mist, and the scent of lavender was gone. An avalanche of live broadcast barrages, King of the Mist. New boss of the new team, T/G of the 50-man Iron-Blooded Alliance, Maple Shadow GG. Xiao Mei collapsed, the picture of begging for mercy is too miserable, the envy value has returned to 0. Players outside the road gathered around the canyon, and the warrior smiled sourly, the king of pretense is here, the leader is in the fog field, suck it dry and turn it into a mummy. The king roared, the fog field exploded, and the black mist swallowed the whole place like a tsunami, sucking blood at minus 800 per second. Chen Feng's HP dropped to 10%, his vision was dark, the fog roared in his ears like 10,000 ghosts, and his lungs burned. Xiao Zhixia's HP cleared and fell to the ground, I can't hold back, Brother Feng, I'm sorry. The cub's shield shattered and the little black shadow whined. At the peak of despair, Chen Feng raised the corner of his mouth slightly, explode. Fully activate Shadow Bite. Shadow Step flashed wildly, piercing the fog and piercing the core, minus 1,567 critical hit. The health bar dropped by 2%, and the blood-sucking rebound caused a surge in HP. He commanded, the cub resurrected her and stood 5 meters behind me. The little black shadow shield was reborn, Xiao Zhixia was resurrected, her eyes widened, recovered blood. Shadow Devour absorbs 50% of the leader's blood, and the DPS is incredible. The thorny mist storm started, countless thorny mist dragons sprang out, the wind pressure tore the air, the sound of clanking against the wall was like thunder, the ground cracked into a 3-meter deep trench, and gravel, mist and blood splattered. Chen Feng pulled, "Go left, hide in the inner circle. Your frostfire frozen thorn roots." Afterimages of his figure flashed continuously, predicting the trajectory for 0.1 seconds, and the sword light flashed like a will-o'-the-wisp, combo -945 × 8, total damage 7,560. The king lost 10% of his health, roared ear-splittingly, and the fog domain shrank. Xiao Zhixia followed up with blood and frost fire, -900 explosion. Spinosaurus freezes, Brother Feng breaks the defense. Her eyes bulged and she screamed excitedly, "The tacit understanding is full, your containment triples my output." The leader's weakness is exposed, and the health bar goes crazy. Players outside the road were dumbfounded. The live broadcast captured the sword light and fog explosion. A mage girl covered her mouth and felt weak. 2 people are pushing for a group version. Maple Shadow is the 20th level single tank king, Xiao Zhixia's DPS is over 1000, and the operation textbook. Taunting the warrior's phone and throwing it to the ground, I just said it overturned. Now the health is 40%, no injuries. Cheating. White heat, all the king's skills are fired continuously, the fog field plus thorn storm are activated, the whole scene is instantly killed by the storm, the air is twisted like the doomsday, and the sweet and poisonous mist is choking. Chen Feng's HP was in the air, the cub was resurrected to protect the body, and the blood recovery link was, ultimate move. The end of Shadow Devour. Shadow Blade, black flames soared into the sky, sweeping the whole screen, -2000 critical hit ×10, total damage 20,000. The king wailed, the serum was 0, the mist body disintegrated into amethyst rain, and a dazzling golden light burst out, the orange, mist shadow cloak, all attributes plus 300, Kirigakure invisibility, pet evolution crystal, 200,000 experience points, complete job transfer scroll. The system-wide announcement roared, server-wide announcement. The player, Maple Shadow, kills the novice zone team copy, Shadow Cave, for the first time in a 2-man team, and obtains the first kill treasure chest. The combat power increases sharply from 3000 to 6500. The envy value of all players in the server is plus 100,000, and the drop rate of orange equipment is increased. Xiao Zhixia rushed forward, hugged Chen Feng's arms, blushed and screamed, "Brother Feng is a god." 2 people slaughter the raid, the attributes of the orange cloak are incredible, and the combat power of 6500 is the best in the server. Your positioning plus command, accurate AoE prediction, the pinnacle of my Frostfire DPS career. Her eyes were like stars, the fragrance of lavender reappeared, and the cubs rubbed their legs and screamed happily. Players outside the canyon surged wildly and rushed to the entrance to worship. Maple Shadow Dynasty has begun. First kill of the raid, the operation will be passed down forever. The live broadcast exceeded 5 million, and the barrage lags. Dad, take me to fly, please join. All server channels exploded, 6500 combat power. Orange equipment revealed, Kirigakure plus cloak double concealment, invincible flow. The Iron-Blooded Alliance has a swollen face. Chen Feng picked up the spar, and the cub swallowed it and evolved, Shadow Demon War Beast, skill upgrade to Shadow Devouring Domain, whole team's blood sucking plus 30%. He equipped a cloak, the panel shone brightly, and smiled lightly, "Loki, get out." The 2 teleported out of the cave, and passers-by knelt down, the god team worships. The sun is dazzling at the exit of the canyon, the aftermath of sand and dust is still lingering around my ankles, and the sweet smell mixed with purple mist is like a ghost lingering in my nose. Chen Feng's figure flashed, his fog shadow cloak fluttered lightly, and a faint purple halo enveloped him. He teleported to the ground. The knees of the passers-by and players around him softened and they all knelt down. The swords in the hands of the warrior players hit the ground with a clang, and their eyes protruded like copper bells. Feng Ying Dad. Orange costume. The cloak is blinding, and the 6500 combat power panel has been released. Number 1 in the whole server, please lead the flying slayer. The mage girl screamed, and the scent of lavender spread chaotically. The live broadcast exceeded 10 million, the first kill of the team. The operation will be passed down forever. I will become a big fan. Suddenly, a private message popped up. Iron-Blooded Alliance, President Iron-Blooded Crazy Sword, Brother Maple Shadow, the first kill god operation. The first guild in the Iron-Blooded server. I want you to be the deputy guild, share the orange equipment, annual salary is 1 million, come back soon. Behind the message, there was a hint of murderous intent, and the chat channel whispered, Iron-Blooded hostility? They were blocked and got the first kill. Revenge is coming. Chen Feng's eyes were slightly cold, the canyon was windy, and the purple mist lingered. Xiao Zhixia clung to Chen Feng's arm, her moon-white robe was stained with blood, her cheeks were flushed and she gasped, Brother Feng, the system announcement is all over the server. Your shadow bite kills 20,000 total damage, and the mist domain has no damage. My Frostfire DPS has broken 1500. The pinnacle of your career. This cloak has plus 300 attributes for all attributes. Kirigakure has a 30-second invisibility CD, what a magical skill. Her blue eyes flashed with admiration, the little black shadow of the cub moaned and rubbed its legs, the dark light in the shadow-gnawing field pulsed, and there was a hint of blood in the air. The private messages kept ringing, and the second line of the iron-blooded sword popped up, Maple Shadow, I will keep you as the vice-council member, and share the orange equipment. The iron-blooded 50-man team has destroyed the Mist King countless times, and you too are the first to kill. Join us to dominate the entire server. The murderous intent behind him was like a knife, and the chat channel exploded, Iron-Blooded pulls people. Maple Shadow goes to Iron-Blooded, and the Maple Shadow Dynasty's dream is shattered. Newbie Solo King, Guild. Laughing to death, resource points are dominated by Iron-Blooded, and the new guild will starve to death. Chen Feng's eyes turned cold, he tapped his fingertips, and the rejection message bounced away, don't worry about the president, set up your own business. The system prompts coldly, reject the Iron-Blooded Alliance, invitation, the hostility value plus 500. An avalanche of all channels in the server instantly, Maple Shadow rejects Iron-Blooded? Crazy. The first guild vice president in the server doesn't want it, and the annual salary of 1 million is a shame. The passerby warrior snickered, it's a novice who is pretending to be cool. He has no guild resources and no matter how good the equipment is, he will starve to death. Iron-Blooded revenge, resource points are planned for encirclement and suppression. Ridicules came like a flood, and a level 18 assassin player stepped forward with a sinister smile, his dagger flashing, Maple Shadow, the first kill is awesome, but alone. Create a guild. The garbage area of the novice village, the resource point is occupied by the Iron-Blooded cavalry, and the LV-20 cavalry DPS breaks 80-0, your 6,500 combat power is useless. Join our small guild and be a leader, with an annual salary of 100,000. 10 people gathered behind him, and the shield war taunted, the chance of losing the cloak is 2 people, so you are the laughingstock of the whole server. Xiao Zhixia clenched her staff tightly, her face turned pale, Brother Feng, they are iron-blooded enemies. Resource points are the key to guild upgrades. Or crystals can produce thousands of units per day. Without a guild, your equipment will be stuck. Her voice trembled, the scent of lavender faded, and passers-by shook their heads in agreement. Fengying GG, 0 new guild members, 50 iron-blooded elites, the guild war will collapse at the first touch. Chen Feng smiled lightly, Wu Ying's cloak flickered, and the system menu expanded, create the guild, Maple Shadow Dynasty, with an initial capital of 100,000 gold coins. Golden light shot up to the sky, the guild logo interface flashed, and a server-wide announcement roared, player, Maple Shadow, created the guild, Maple Shadow Dynasty. The total combat power is 6,500, the first President Maple Shadow, welcome to join. The channel exploded, Maple Shadow Dynasty. Crazy name, 0-member guild, logo not designed yet, rubbish. The iron-blooded channel blasted, suppressed the Maple Shadow Dynasty, resource points are not allowed to touch. Passerby hunters laughed with weak legs, guild solo king, who is the vice president? Xiao Mei is the one. Laughing to death, mine level 20 wild monster guard, elite group health 30,000, guild battle iron blood crushing. Xiao Zhixia bit her lip and her blue eyes lit up, Brother Feng, I will design the logo. Shadow Phoenix, black flame phoenix wings surround the amethyst crown, buff the team's dark attributes plus 20%, and the resurrection CD is halved. She waved her staff, and the ink flame phoenix took shape in the void, with a wingspan of 10 meters. The logo went online, and the whole server's vision flashed, Maple Shadow Dynasty, logo, Shadow Phoenix, is activated. Unique buff exposed, dark attribute plus 20%, Phoenix Nirvana, group destroyed and resurrected once. In an instant, private messages from masters were blasting, Guild Master Maple Shadow, God's Mark. Dark attribute fantasy, Phoenix Resurrection invincible, I am LV22 to fight wildly, DPS 2000 to join. Assassin Master, Shadow Step max level, I want to join the dynasty. Passers-by stared, the warrior the player's mobile phone fell to the ground, the logo buff is against the sky. The iron-blooded logo only has plus 10% in all attributes. This Phoenix Nirvana, the guild can't kill Xiaoqiang. The taunting assassin turned green, fake. Designer Xiao Zhixia. She has $1,000 of Frostfire DPS and artistic talent. The number of people in the guild interface increased by 50. Chen Feng nodded, Xiao Zhixia is the designer and manages the mine. Suddenly, a private message flashed with golden edges, Gu Sheng, applied to join, I am LV25 Logistics Master, Guild Management Level S, recruitment efficiency is 200%, I was a iron-blooded vice guild, and I only went it alone when I gave up. President Maple Shadow, with the signature magic skill, I am the vice guild, managing people and pulling resources. Attachment panel, management skills are at full level, recruitment success rate is 95%. Chen Feng approved, Gu Sheng entered instantly, his ID flashed, the vice president is online. The dynasty is starting, and the goal is to occupy all the mineral veins in the server. The guild channel was lively, Brother Sheng is awesome, an iron-blooded trader. God of management, recruiting people is like drinking water. Xiao Zhixia crossed her arms excitedly, Brother Sheng, welcome. Brother Feng, Gu Sheng is rumored to recruit thousands of people, and iron-blooded expansion depends on him. Gu Sheng's voice was steady, and Shahai sent a message, President, first occupy the novice area, blood crystal mine, LV18 resource points, daily production of 500 crystals, the key to upgrading equipment. But the iron-blooded cavalry army bayonet, 20 elites plus cavalry tanks, 40,000 health, LOE cavalry broke through thousands of injuries. Passers-by heard that the legs were weak, or veins. Iron-blooded territory, Maple Shadow Dynasty delivers food. Just founded the guild, the level 0 guild collapsed. 50 members of the dynasty teleported to the mine veins, the blood-red crystal veins squirmed, the air was thick with rust, and the wind blew sand and dust. 20 cavalrymen of the cavalry army rushed out, with thundering hoofs and bloody spears, Maple Shadow Dynasty is out. The iron-blooded mine is exclusive. The cavalry collided with the tank and shield, minus 1,200 shock wave, the guild newcomers' HP dropped by 50%, and screamed back, the cavalry charges the AoE in seconds, the crystal mine cannot be defended. Desperate to the extreme, the new warrior knelt down, President, our level 0 guild is equipped with bronze, the iron cavalry DPS is 800, and the health bar does not move. Xiao Zhixia Shuanghua blasted out minus 600, only scraping, Brother Feng, the cavalry group is surrounded, hatred is locked on the back row, I am so weak. Gu Xing's voice trembled. President, withdraw, the iron-blooded revenge is coming, the mineral vein will be lost. The corner of Chen Feng's mouth raised slightly, and the invisibility CD of the fog shadow cloak was ready. Dynasty fully activates the Shadow Phoenix buff, dark attribute plus 20%, my main pull. Little black shadow, the shadow bite field is expanded. The cub roared, the netherworld covered the field, the whole team sucked blood plus 30%, and the resistance was off the charts. The cavalryman charged angrily, his shadow steps flashed 3 times, and the afterimage pulled down the rain of spears, shadow-devouring slash. The black flame sword light swept away, minus 1,456 critical hit times 8, and the total damage was more than 10,000. The health bar of the 5 knights is cleared, the crystal fragments are exploded, and the blood is sucked back to full HP. The cavalry army was stunned, and the cavalrymen shook their spears, 20 cavalry per person. Cloak Kirigakure predicted the impact, the DPS exceeded 1500, the divine pet sucked blood and rebounded, and the health bar went crazy. The newcomers in the guild widened their eyes, and the fighting girl screamed and her legs weakened, the president's operation textbook. The Phoenix buff increases the hidden damage, and my battle axe DPS is doubled, and the combo is minus 900. Gu Xing gasped, the president is commanding, positioning in a diamond shape to attract hatred, I am recruiting 300 people, and the number exceeds 100. Xiao Zhixia's frost fire exploded, and she froze her leg, minus 1,100. Brother Feng restrained, and the output blind area was filled up. She blushed and excited, and the lavender fragrance reignited. The cavalry were all wiped out, and the blood crystal or worms in the veins were refreshed. Chen Feng swept with his sword, the resource point is captured, and the dynasty is upgraded to level 1. The system announced, Maple Shadow Dynasty, is the first to occupy the blood crystal vein, with a daily output of 800 crystals. The total combat power of the guild exceeds 10,000. The whole server was shocked. Gu Xing laughed, President, crystals are upgraded to equipment, bronzes are exchanged for purple weapons. Recruitment exceeds 1,000, masters gather. Players outside the street watched the live broadcast, and hunter players knelt down, the dynasty is invincible, 20 cavalrymen instantly, the logo buff is dreamy. The mocking assassin fled with a swollen face, I was wrong, Maple Shadow Dynasty is a dark horse in the whole server. The mineral veins were stable, and Chen Feng was exploring the map alone. In the depths of the wilderness, a blood moon hung high, wolves howled, the air was as bloody as a slaughterhouse, and claw marks on the ground were 3 feet deep. He squinted, Blood Moon Wolf King, hiding the traces of the boss, LV-25 dual mode, rumored to be the only one in the entire server that explodes with the Blood Moon suit. The LV-20 elites of the Wild Wolves burst out, blood claws tore through the air, wind pressure howled, minus 900 tearing, his HP dropped by 30%, and bone pain penetrated his marrow. Surrounded by wolves, claws rained down, the clanging sound was deafening, and the blood mist filled the air and choked the nose. Chen Feng snorted coldly, practice pulling monsters alone, and become proficient in shadow step. Kirigakure opened instantly, and the afterimage circled, combo -1234 × 10. The elite's health bar dropped wildly, and the blood was returned by sucking blood. The small black shadow assisted the field, and its resistance could withstand AoE. His figure was ghostly, his claw trajectory was predicted for 0.05 seconds, sword light and blood rain splashed everywhere, the ground was piled with wolf corpses, and his experience skyrocketed to level 17. The guild channel flooded the screen, guild leader training the wolf pack alone. 20 elites are maxed out, DPS is 2000, cloak plus pets are no solution. Xiao Zhixia's private message, Brother Feng, be careful, the Blood Moon Wolf King is hidden and triggered, the guild is ready for war. At the entrance of the blood crystal vein, the blood moon hung like a hook, and the red light fell on the crystal veins, reflecting the scarlet pulsation of the ground. The smell of rust mixed with sand and dust hit the nostrils, and the thunder of horse hooves shook the earth. The second team of the Iron-Blooded Alliance cavalry army expanded to 100 men. The flags were hunting, the spears flashed with blood, the cavalry tanks and shields collided with thunder, and the smell of horse sweat and rust in the air was strong and choking. The iron-blooded Crazy Sword cavalry was at the forefront, fighting furiously at level 28 in red armor. The combat power of a single panel was 4,500, and the blood flames of the big axe burned the sky. Little madman of the Maple Shadow Dynasty, get out of the mines. Refuse the invitation. The enemy value is off the charts, the iron-blooded resources of the whole server are monopolized, your new club is level 0 garbage, and hundreds of knights will defeat you. The rear cavalry roared together, spear formations charged, and AoE shock waves swept -1,500. The HP of the newcomers to the dynasty outside the mineral veins dropped by 70%, and they screamed, the total combat power of the iron-blooded 100 people is 50,000. The cavalry charged and killed instantly, our bronze equipment's health bar was papered, and the president has not responded yet, the mineral vein is lost. The guild channel filled the screen like an avalanche, and the new warrior's voice trembled like chaff, Vice-Gu, withdraw. The iron cavalry has 1200 DPS, 50,000 health, and all buff iron and blood marks are plus 10%. Even our Phoenix Nirvana can't withstand this wave. The mage girl's eyes were filled with tears, and the residual fragrance of lavender was mixed with blood. Sister Qiao, Frostfire, I can't fight, the cavalry is surrounded, the logistics crystal transportation is broken, and the guild can't rise to level 1. Passers-by players watched the live broadcast, and the hunter players snickered and clicked on their mobile phones. The dark horse of the dynasty has a broken dream, the iron blood leads 100 cavalry, the guild battle is awesome. The number of members is broken, and the whole server is taunted +1. Xiao Zhixia clenched her staff tightly, her knuckles turned white, her moon-white robe was stained with blood, her blue eyes scanned the cavalry formation in a panic. The frost fireball was only -700 guasha. Gu Sheng, their cavalry is stuck at the entrance of the mine, and the terrain is sealed. Although we have thousands of people, we are scattered, and the average DPS is 400. I can't hold back the hatred. Brother Feng's teleportation signal is cut off, and the iron-blooded sword and axe light is warming up, and he's in the back row in seconds. Her voice was shrill and trembling, the scent of lavender was as light as a candle, the little black shadow of the cub hung to protect her legs, the shadow bite field could barely cover 100 people, and the blood-sucking plus 30% could not stop the HP from bottoming out. Gu Sheng's gold-rimmed ID flashed, and the command of the logistics position was hoarse. All personnel defend in diamond shape, tanks hold up shields, newcomers move back to transport crystals. Recruiting masters are pouring in, but their combat power is low. Iron-blooded Vice President Iron-blooded Butcher is online, with LV-27 shield battle and blood defense of 60,000, and taunting skills lock our fragile pie. President, come back soon. The daily production of 800 blood crystals in the mine is cut off, and the dynasty collapses. His face turned pale, and the management panel flashed red alerts, and the iron-blooded channel flashed, "To Dynasty, destroy the equipment to avenge the shame." All players in the server exploded, iron-blooded revenge, Maple Shadow GG, the new guild will die soon. Suddenly, the alarm, 50 men from the second team of the Iron-Blooded Alliance cavalry army are attacking. President, please come back quickly, the guild battle has begun. Gu Sheng's voice was urgent, they are provoking, the ore is going to be lost. The iron-blooded Crazy Sword personally leads, with a total combat strength of 30,000. Under the blood moon, the wolf howled more fiercely, Chen Feng's eyes were sharp, and he teleported to help. In the sand and blood mist, the dynasty phoenix symbol burned into the sky. At the peak of despair, the space warped with a buzz sound. The dark purple halo of the fog shadow cloak tore through the blood mist. Chen Feng's ghostly figure fell to the ground. The shadow blade shone coldly under the blood moon. The combat power of the LV-17 Shadow Sword Master panel soared to 6,800. The little black shadow beasts roared side by side. The shadow bite area instantly expanded by 100 meters. The shadow pulsation swallowed the riding shadow. The dynasty obeys the order. Activate the Shadow Phoenix buff, the whole team's secret power plus 20%, Nirvana is on standby. I pull the main tank, Xiao Zhixia's back row has a clear range, Gushing ambush on the terrain, the sand dunes on the flanks of the mine ambush, and the newcomer transports crystal logistics. His voice was as calm as ice, and with a finger pointing the tip of his sword, Kirigakure's CD was ready, and his figure had already flashed into the cavalry formation. Taunts came in like a tide, the cavalry spear pierced the newcomer's shield, the blood mist exploded, -1800 critical hit chain, the three warriors knelt down and flew away, and the crystal fragments scattered on the sand with a clang. Xiao Zixiashuang exploded and froze the 5 cavalry legs, and the -900 control was only instantaneous. I can't hold on, the iron-blooded mad sword is charging at me. The blood flames of the axe roared, and the scorching air waves burned her face. She lost half of her HP, and her legs went weak and fell back. The iron-blooded mad sword and axe stopped in mid-air, and his red eyes protruded. Maple Shadow? There is a rumor that a single person can instantly kill a pack of wolves, but are you crazy about guild battles? Hundreds of horses will crush you. His big axe fell with blood flames, and burned in a -2000 range. Chen Feng's shadow steps flashed 3 times, and the afterimage pulled the flame wave, shadow-devouring slash. The black flame sword light swept like a dragon, -1680 critical hit times 12, and the total damage was more than 20,000. The health bars of more than 10 cavalry were cleared, horse corpses bombed into the sand dunes, crystals and equipment exploded all over the ground, blood was sucked back to full HP, the small shadow field reflected dark damage -500 per second, and the cavalry's HP went crazy. The knees of the members of the dynasty weakened, and the newcomers in the mad battle stared at the round copper bell eyes, and hit the ground with their axes. The president is back. The panel with a combat power of 6,800 flashed blind, and the fog shadow teleported for 0.1 seconds to predict the rain of gunfire. Amazing operation. The mage girls screamed and burst into tears, and the lavender incense rekindled. Maple Shadow Dad's commanding god, the buff is superimposed on the dark damage, and my fireball DPS is doubled, -1200 bursts. Gu Sheng gasped and laughed, his voice changed from trembling to enthusiastic, the logistics turned into an ambush, and the 300 people on the flank teleported to the sand dunes, and the cavalry double-teamed. The corner of Chen Feng's mouth slightly raised, and the fog shadow flickered and teleported to the flank. Single challenge. I'll accompany you. The shadow step ghostly circled the shield, predicting the taunt for 0.03 seconds to dodge, and the shadow blade combo burst out, soul-eating continuous slash. Dash 1456 × 15, the shield shattered with a harsh, click, sound, the blood mist exploded, and the iron-blooded butcher lost 6 HP 0%, the shield battle yelled and fell back. Operation God of Prediction. Shield blind spot piercing, secret armor piercing and defense breaking, the panel is 4,500 and my 6,800 is useless. The newcomers of the dynasty knelt down with weak legs as they watched, and the assassin girl screamed, the president crushes the vice president. The shadow step trajectory is switched in 0.05 seconds, a textbook duel. The cavalry army was stunned. The cavalry shields shook off the sand and dust, and their voices trembled like candles in the wind. One person pulls 30 cavalry. The fog shadow cloak stealth predicts the sprint, DPS 2000+, the god's pet shadow sucks blood and feeds milk, and the blood bar is unstoppable. The iron-blooded maniac has a green face and an axe. Mang waved wildly, Vice President Iron-Blooded Butcher, enter. Lock Maple Shadow with all shields and taunts. The level 27 shield-fighting Iron-Blooded Butcher rushed out, with a blood shield of 60,000 thick, and a taunting aura, little madman, challenge me alone. The iron-blooded symbol has a frankness plus 30%, you Shadow Sword Master DPS is pulling your crotch. Hundreds of iron-blooded knights formed a chaotic formation, with horse hooves trampling the sand and flying into the air. The iron-blooded mad swords and axes shook blood beads. Butcher, hold on. The whole army's spear formation attacks together. But Chen Feng's figure was like a ghost. Kirigakure pulled the AoE in a flash, and the shadow-devouring blade swept again, -1800 critical hit to clear out 20 knights. The little black shadow beast's claws were torn apart, and the total damage from the rebound in the field exceeded 10,000. The Dynasty Guild channel reveled. The president defeated the vice president in a duel. Sister Qiao was a master of clearing the field, and Vice President Gu's logistics was flawless. The iron-blooded 50,000-strong army was completely defeated. A live broadcast player outside the road dropped his mobile phone to the ground, and the hunter knelt down and licked. Dynasty Terrain Ambush Art, Maple Shadow DPS 3000 peak. The cavalry's health bar is like paper, marking the victory before Nirvana is opened. The iron-blooded butcher kneeled down with his shield shattered, gasping for breath with remaining HP. Impossible. The operation gap is huge. The fog shadow CD is seamless for 30 seconds, and the shadow penetrates my 60,000 health defense. Chen Feng's sword fell with a pop, and his head exploded. GG. The system announcement roared. Maple Shadow Dynasty, defeated. Iron-blooded alliance, hundreds of people encirclement and suppression. The first victory in the guild battle. The reputation of the mine is plus 5,000, the daily output of the mine is increased by 1,000 blood crystals. The iron-blooded swordsman fled with a hoarse roar. Retreat. Maple Shadow. All servers are public enemies. The blood crystal veins of the mine veins are pulsing more intensely, and the air is bloody and fragrant. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes flashed with admiration. Her staff was raised high, and the scent of lavender filled her nostrils with the smell of mixed flames. Brother Feng's containment is perfect. Frost and Fire Blast. The ice and fire dual cultivation range blasted the field. The frozen flame storm dashed 2200 times 50. The legs of the cavalry group were frozen and shattered, and the 30 cavalry flew away. Under the blood moon, the firelight reflected his face flushed. DPS career high 2800, Phoenix buff secret bonus, my magic penetrates the iron blood mark. Gu Xing commanded the logistics, his voice trembling with excitement. A flanking ambush was launched, 300 people double-teamed, the cavalry back row was crispy and killed instantly. The members of the dynasty burst into cheers, and the newcomers hugged their legs and worshipped. The guild leader God commanded, single kill more than 10 plus deputy guild crush. The total combat power exceeded 20,000, the number exceeded 2,000. Xiao Zhixia gasped for breath, her cheek pressed against her chest and flushed. Brother Feng, Shuanghua Qing, the game depends on you. Perfect tacit understanding. The mineral veins are upgraded, and the blood crystals are used to create the purple weapon suit. Gu Xing's panel flashed gold. The reputation has skyrocketed. There are thousands of private messages from masters. The iron-blooded defectors are pouring in. I have managed to fully occupy the mineral veins in the server. The whole server channel reversed the avalanche. Maple Shadow Dynasty is invincible. Hundreds of cavalry instantly collapsed. Live broadcast for 20 million. Iron-blooded face swollen and ran away. Please join. Taunting passers-by and deleting accounts with green faces. I was wrong. The dark horse of the dynasty has reached the top, the Phoenix buff Guild War artifact. Chen Feng smiled and put away his sword. The fog shadow cloak fluttered lightly, and the guild's phoenix symbol burned the sky under the blood moon. Chen Feng sheathed his sword under the blood moon, his fog shadow cloak quivering slightly. The lingering fragrance of lavender in the sand and dust filled his nostrils, mixed with the smell of scorched blood and rust from the cavalry corpses. The veins of blood crystals at the entrance of the mine veins pulsed like hearts, reflecting the fanatical faces of the guild members. The new warrior knelt down and hugged his legs. The copper bell's eyes widened, and the axe hit the sand with a clang. The president's combat power is 6,800. The gold edge of the panel flashes blind. A single kill of LV-27 iron-blooded butcher shield explodes. The DPS peak is 3,000 plus, and the fog shadow teleport prediction is 0.03 seconds. Magic skills textbook. The mage girl burst into tears and screamed, the lavender fragrance reignited, and the staff shook off the frost fire residue. Feng Dad pulls it perfectly. The total battle of 50,000 cavalry is like paper, the guild channel exceeds 100,000 likes, and the reputation is 5,000, we win. Xiao Zhixia threw herself on her arms, her moon-white robe sticking to her chest flushed, her blue eyes admiring the water mist, and the scent of lavender was strong in her breath. Brother Feng, the ore veins are stable, with a daily production of 1,000 blood crystals, a capital of 200,000 gold, and the purple weapon suit has begun to be cast. But the newcomer has pulled his hips, and the average DPS in the previous battle is 400, the iron-blooded remnants are lurking, the surrounding mobs are swarming, and the logistics and transportation are stuck. Her voice trembled slightly, her knuckles turned white as she opened the management panel, and the red alert flashed. Level 20 blood crystal guards on the flanks of the mine were spawning wildly, hatred locked on the transportation team, and the three newcomers screamed and retreated after their HP bottomed out. Gu Xing's gold-rimmed ID flashed wildly, and the logistics station laughed hoarsely and then said in a hurry, President, 300 defecting masters have poured in, and the total battle has exceeded 20,000, but their training level is low. The Blood Crystal Guard AoE 1200 swept the field, the newcomer's shield was shattered and the health bar was thin, the minerals were cut off for half an hour, and the guild LV1 upgrade card funds. The guild channel avalanched and the newcomer stabbed the screen. The voice of the customers was trembling, Deputy Gu, the guard has 30,000 HP, and is taunting the squishy skin like crazy. Our bronze equipment can't stand it, and the iron-blooded intelligence network is still spying. Passers-by live broadcasted the players outside the mine, snickering on their mobile phones and clicking wildly, the dynasty is in trouble. After the defeat of the 100 cavalry, the mobs are maxed out, the dark horse is overturned, and the Maple Shadow solo is awesome and the guild battle is giving +1. Chen Feng narrowed his eyes slightly, and the blood beads of the shadow blade slid down the tick-tock sand. The mist shadow flickered and teleported to the flank, it's a small thing. The shadow bite field is opened, the whole team sucks blood plus 30% resistance plus 200, rebounds minus 500 per second. Xiaohei, step forward and pull the monster. The shadow demon war beast jumped out with a low roar, the dark purple field instantly expanded 100 meters, the green eyes of the blood crystal guard were crimson, the vine whip, pop, sucked out the bloody wind, minus 1,500 AoE swept. The newcomer fell back with weak legs, and the warrior shouted, the guard has 1,400 DPS, 40,000 health defense, we can't hold it back. But the field pulsated and swallowed the shadow, and the reflected shadow damage exploded. The guard's HP went crazy minus 600 per second, Chen Feng's shadow step flashed 3 times, and the shadow blade's continuous slashes were buzzing and harsh, 1680 times 8 with a total damage of 13,000. The first guard's head exploded with crystals, and his equipment, ding-dong, exploded. The knees of the members of the dynasty went weak, and the new member of the mad battle stared and swallowed his saliva. Guild leader, one person clears the tide. Shadow Eater is full of blood, DPS 2500 plus, the guard's health bar melts against the sky, and the whole team in the god's pet domain is buffed with immortality. The mage girl screamed and burst into tears, and the frost fireball followed up with minus 1,200 bursts. Brother Feng is holding back, the domain bonus doubled my DPS, and the mine was cleared. Gu Xing's face turned green and he trembled with excitement. The logistics is at full speed, the blood crystal stockpile is over 10,000, the L2 upgrade is about to be completed, and the masters have sent thousands of private messages. In just 5 minutes, the guards turned to dust, the veins were full of blood, the rust in the air faded, and the fragrance of lavender and crystal stones was intertwined. Taking inventory of the loot, Chen Feng opened his backpack, and golden light flashed. The iron-blooded butcher dropped the blood iron heavy shield, purple outfit, tank health plus 5,000, full defense plus 200, and more than 10 cavalry dropped the iron-blooded lance, blue outfit, piercing DPS plus 800. Gold coins poured in and the funds soared by 300,000. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes flashed, and she clicked on the forging, Brother Feng, I have enough blood crystal plus purple weapon materials, the blood shadow sword glove, has all attributes plus 400, and the combat power is estimated to exceed 10,000. Gu Xing's recruitment panel jumped wildly, defection level 25 plus 50 masters join, the total battle is 30,000, the number of people is 2,500, the iron-blooded green face is announced for the whole server. Suddenly, a Ding Phnom Penh private message popped up, the ID, Yi Ji, flashed, and the Master Beast Tamer level 24 panel appeared. President Maple Shadow, the Blood Moon Wolf King is hiding information, and the location of the mythical beast pet egg is locked. But Iron Blood has been targeted, connect quickly, otherwise the whole server will be snatched, and a big crisis is coming. The map attached to the message pulsed with blood, and wolf howls were faintly heard. Chen Feng's eyes froze, and the figure in the sand flashed again, and there was an undercurrent of crisis in the depths of the wilderness. At the edge of the ancient forest, towering ancient trees cover the blood moon, the musty smell of rotten leaves mixed with the smell of beasts hits your nose, the vines rustle and squirm like living animals, and the cry of the thundering falcon echoes harshly in the distance. Yi Ji leaned against the ancient tree. The green robe of the level 24 beast-taming master was flowing. The gold edge of the pet pouch around his waist flashed. His pretty face turned pale and he glanced at the scout, Feng Ying. You are here. The iron-blooded scout level 22 Hunter 50, stealth exploration map, Wolf King Egg triggered dual mode, but the front-end taming Thunder Falcon starts with 0% loyalty, and can only be tamed if it reaches the maximum level after a continuous battle. Technique, feed spirit fruit plus skill resonance during the battle, otherwise the Falcon King will summon thunder and run away in seconds. Her voice was quick and trembling, and she opened the pet panel with her fingertips to demonstrate, and the green light skill tree expanded. Chen Feng nodded, and the shadow demon war beast whispered to protect his side, demonstration. Yi Ji summoned, Wind Spirit Fox, LV-25, the fox's silver fur ran through the forest with lightning, pecking at the spiritual fruit with a crisp, golu, sound, and the loyalty jumped 10%, kill the mobs in a row, synchronize the skills output, and the contract is 100% full. The trial started, the iron-blooded scout suddenly appeared, the bowstring was buzzed, the poisonous arrow rain hissed, to break the wind, 1300 DOT chain lock. Yi Ji's legs went weak and she leaned back, the total DPS for 50 people is 20,000, stealth and prejudged shooting, we are fragile. But Chen Feng teleported in the fog, and the shadow blade swept, buzz, minus 1800 crit x10, the scout's health bar was cleared to half the team, the shadow bite field rebound minus 500 per second, and the fox shadow resonance wind blade assist minus 900 range. After repairing the gap, ding, Yi Ji's private message flashed again, the blood light on the map pulsed, and the wolf's howl faintly penetrated the eardrums. Guild Master Maple Shadow, see you at the edge of the ancient forest, Blood Moon Wolf Prince Egg advance information, Thunder Falcon rare pet L30 coordinates locked, but the iron-blooded crazy sword has gathered 50 scouts, hurry up come. Chen Feng replied with a smile, arrived instantly. The purple light of the fog shadow's cloak flashed, and the ghostly figure left the mine. Xiao Zhixia called out, Brother Feng, be careful, there are many hidden bosses in the forest, the guild's pet training plan after the pet system is unlocked. At the end of the wind and sand scroll, he had submerged into the Blood Moon wilderness. The forest is covered with thunderclouds, arcs are crackling and frying leaves, the musty smell is choking your throat, the LV-30 Thundering Falcon is circling, its green feathers and thunder are exposed, its cry is ear-splitting, the wings of the storm are warming up, 2000 range lightning strikes. The Falcon King swooped down, its claw shadow tore through the air and shattered tree trunks, its loyalty was 0% and it went berserk, summoning thunderballs to blast the field. Chen Feng dodges with shadow step for 0.1 seconds, and hits with a pop of feeding spirit fruit, Xiao Hei, shadow bite suppresses. The dim light in the field swallows thunder, the rebound electric damage is minus 700 per second, the Falcon's HP drops by 10%, and he fights for 3 rounds in a row, and the mob assists to increase loyalty by 30%, 60%, and 90%. Yiji assisted from the rear, throwing the Wind Fox Spirit Fruit continuously, her almond-shaped eyes flushed. Even the immortal battle god, Falcon King's DPS of 2,500 can't suppress you, your loyalty is soaring. Sign the contract. The Falcon King murmured in surrender. Azure Light entered his bag, and Chen Feng's panel jumped. Thunder Falcon, grows into a rare pet, with Thunder attribute plus 500, full speed plus 300, and skill, Thunderstorm Dive. Yiji gasped and handed the Jade Slip, forbidden skill, Pampering Soul Fusion, double fusion of Shadow Demon plus Thunder, combat power soared by 5000. After fusion, DPS exceeded 8000, and all stats increased sharply for 10 minutes, but backlash HP minus 20%, use with caution. Chen Feng's fusion trial, thunder and lightning intertwined to bomb the forest trees, the panel gold exploded, personal combat power 11,800. Yiji knelt on her knees with weak legs, and her green eyes bulged. Successful fusion. The two pet souls are superimposed, the magical skills are taboo, the combat power is doubled, the first of its kind in the entire server. The guild channel was live broadcast simultaneously, and Gu Sheng was excited and refreshed. Guild President Ancient Forest taming level 30 Thunder Falcon plus fusion taboo, combat power 11,800 flash all servers. All members train pets, blood crystal spirit fruits are distributed, and the pet competition begins. The dynasty's 2,500 people's pet sacks are boiling, newcomers summon cubs, the forest edge competition field is bustling, the pet wolf bites, roar, the mage sparrow reigns, hiss, and the total battle soared to 50,000. Xiao Zhixia's lavender fragrance live broadcast. Brother Feng's pet soul fusion video has exceeded 5 million likes, iron-blooded defections have doubled, guild level has been raised to 2, and the pet army has been formed. Passers-by players gathered around to worship, and hunters knelt and licked. Dynasty pet DPS averages 800, Nirvana symbol is added secretly, invincible army. Yiji's almond-shaped eyes widened, and the green robe shook off the leaves, and his voice became sharp and fanatical, Operation God. Shadow step cuts into the invisible blind spot, DPS 3000 peak, pet resonance doubles the damage, my fox loyalty jumps 20%. The bow of the iron-blooded scout remnant party kneeling down on the ground, the hunter leader yelled, Feng Ying alone is 50. The panel is crushed by 6800, the fog shadow is seamless, the god's pet sucks blood and kills. After the battle, Chen Feng went straight to the depths of the forest, Yiji followed. Follow, Thunder Falcon's lair. The climax is approaching suddenly, the ancient trees in the core of the forest burst with boom, and the ancient tree demon hides the boss awakening at level 35, bloody vines and mouths of fishy wind hit the face, poisonous mist, hisses, rotten bones, blood thickness is 80,000, range of vine whip minus 2,500 AOE, root piercing armor minus 3,000 single target, intruder, die. Full server announcement warm-up, the iron-blooded sword channel roared, Dryad dual mode. Maple Shadow is about to die, and our 50 elites rush to grab the eggs. Yiji screamed and retreated, the boss is violent, DPS 4000, poison resistance is less than 1 second crispy, Guild Master duel. The Dynasty Guild channel exploded, and Gu Xing screamed, the president singled out the Dryad with 30% of its health bar. The pet army and support arrived, and the egg burst was scheduled. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes burst into tears, Brother Feng didn't lose blood, the backlash control was perfect, and the Dryad's skills were all empty. The Dryad knelt down and clicked, and the golden light of the divine pet egg burst out, ancient phoenix, egg, growing divine beast, the whole system roared, Maple Shadow Dynasty, first exploded the ancient tree demon god's pet egg. The legend of the Pet Legion is opened, reputation plus 10,000. Passerby players dropped their mobile phones to the ground, worshipping the wave. The fusion of Maple Shadow's pet soul kills the hidden boss for the first time, the divine egg is exclusive to all servers, the dynasty reaches the top. The pet army was formed, the total battle of the guild exceeded 100,000, and the number of people was 3,000. Yiji threw her arms and gasped, President, it takes 10,000 units of blood crystals to hatch the egg. Phoenix evolves the dual attributes of Dark Thunder and sweeps the entire server. But the Blood Moon suddenly darkened, and the system announcement exploded. Iron-Blooded Alliance joins forces with Crazy Lion Club, Venomous Snake League, and Wind Wolf Clan. The 4 guilds declare war. General fighting with 500,000 elite blood crystal mineral veins plus surrounded by forests, the Maple Shadow Dynasty's annihilation battle begins. The Iron-Blooded Mad Sword personally takes the revenge of the Tree Demon Egg. The private messages avalanche. Gu Xing shouted urgently, "President, the mine has been blocked by scouts, the 4-level cavalry is approaching, and dangers are everywhere." Chen Feng's eyes flashed, and murderous intent surged in the wilderness. The blood moon hangs low like weeping blood, and the remains of the ancient trees in the core of the ancient forest are still cracking and echoing. The rancid smell of burnt black tree sap mixed with dried poisonous mist is like a lead cloud, choking Yi Ji's chest under the green robe. Wow, her almond-shaped eyes widened, her jade hands tightly grasped the pouch, her knuckles turned white and trembled. Guild, President, the 4 unions have a total battle of 500,000, and 5,000 elites have blocked the mines and forest exits. The Iron-Blooded Crazy Sword personally leads 2,000 cavalry, and the blood of the Lions Club's thousands of violent tanks is as thick as the city wall. The Viper Alliance's 800 assassins are invisible in the DOT poison cloud, and the Wind Wolf Clan's thousands of hunters are locked in the sky with arrows. Our guild has only 100,000 total battles, and 3,000 people are mostly newcomers, and the ore transport team the signal is completely destroyed, the blood crystal production is cut off. Her voice was like a candle in the wind, intermittent, her green eyes reflected the wolf smoke and beacon fire under the blood moon. The distant edge of the forest, bang, the cavalry's iron hoofs shook the ground, and the smelly wind of dust blew towards her face. Chen Feng's thunderous twin lights pulsated slightly under the cloak of fog and shadow. The blood beads of the shadow blade fell to the ground, tick-tick, splashing rotten leaves and mildew spots. His eyebrows were slightly furrowed and he scanned the system map. There were dense red alerts. The entrance to the mine had been sealed by the iron-blooded cavalry array, and the venomous snakes were hidden on the flanks of the forest. Flashing, the guild channel turned red like an avalanche. Vice President, the mine guards respawned the level 25 blood crystal maniacs, the logistics team's HP was cleared, and the transport vehicle with 10,000 units of blood crystals was blown up. The Newcomers' crispy DPS 400 cannot withstand the AO 1500, the iron-blooded scouts have sneaked into the interior. Guild Master, hurry up and rescue. Gu Xing's gold-rimmed ID flashed wildly on the channel, and his voice was as hoarse as a broken gong. Fengying, 200 defected masters are behind, with a total battle remaining of 80,000, and the fund card of 300,000 gold blood crystals has been cut off, and the level 2 guild logo is BUFF is invalid. The announcement of the whole server of the 4th conference ridiculed. The Maple Shadow Dark Horse is overturned, the favored army is in ruins, and the God Egg is waiting to die. The passerby's live broadcast room exceeded 5 million, and the barrage avalanche. The dynasty is over, the total battle of 500,000 is crushed, and the mineral vein forest collapses. Xiao Zhixia's private messages exploded like a series of bombs, and the scent of lavender seemed to come through the air but was mixed with iron-blooded rust. Brother Feng, there is civil strife in the mine. The iron-blooded traitor deserted, the new warrior's shield was shattered and he knelt down, and the blood crystal guardian beast LV-28 was wildly swiped. The total DPS beat us 3 times. Blood Shadow Sword Glove is a semi-finished casting card. All attributes are plus 200 before we get it. All of our predictions about combat power are shattered. Her blue eyes were trembling with water mist in the video, her moon-white robe was stained with blood, and the background was the blood crystal of the mine. The veins pulsed dimly, and the frost fire residue of the staff fell to the ground with a bang. The new mage girl screamed and leaned back, Sister Xia, we have an average of bronze. The guardian beast vine whip -1800 sweeps the field, the crispy health bar evaporates in 0.5 seconds, and the guild is disbanded. The tide is rising. The new assassin in the guild channel refreshed the screen, his voice trembling like a leaf. Deputy Gu, the radar of the Sihui cavalry is locked, the wind wolf arrows are warming up, the retreat route is all blocked, the guild leader is awesome in a duel, but the guild battle is shit, we will be slaughtered equally. Yiji's legs were weak and she threw herself on Chen Feng's arm. Her green robe was soaked with sweat, and her almond-shaped eyes flashed in panic. Ancient phoenix egg, requires 10,000 blood crystals to hatch. What can we do if the veins are broken? The Sihui intelligence network has locked the coordinates of the egg. The iron-blooded crazy sword LV-35 battle panel has a combat power of 9,500. Equipped with a Viper DOT suit, it can predict your shadow step 0.1 seconds, the pet soul fusion backfires and the HP is reduced by 20%. Even your DPS of 8,000 can't withstand the turn of 5,000 elites. The wind is blowing in the forest, the blood moon wolf howls is ear-piercing, the iron hooves in the distance are thundering, the rotten leaves are rolling and the fishy wind is blowing, the green eyes of the poisonous snake assassin in the shadow of the ancient tree are shining, and the bowstring is full of preheating. Passers-by players snickered outside the live broadcast, and their mobile phones clicked and barraged. Maple Shadow Crisis. The favored legion's DPS averages 800, the four guilds' 500,000 total battle encirclement shrinks, the dynasty's internal and external troubles are overwhelming, and the annihilation is scheduled to be +1. Chen Feng's eyes were piercing, the purple light of the fog shadow cloak trembled slightly, the pressure on his beloved soul backfired with a tight pain in his chest, the shadow blade hummed, and he whispered, "Stay steady." Gu Sheng, urgently recruit, lock in L25 plus elites, spend 200,000 gold on the reward join, and the total battle guarantee is 80,000 within the circulation. Gu Sheng's channel responded with a quick breath, "President, it has been sent." The defected master 30,000 private messages came back, but the cavalry of the Fourth Society has hit the periphery of the mine, and the new tank's health defense of 20,000 is like paper, and the total battle is 30,000. The number of people left is 2,800. The guild's logo, Nirvana Phoenix Shadow's dark attribute plus 20% buff, is flickering. Xiao Zhixia is eager to optimize the panel, and her fingers are flying in the scent of lavender. Brother Feng, the logo is being upgraded, and the Dark Thunder dual attribute bonus is +1. 0%, but the material is out of stock, hold on. Her blue eyes were full of tears, and the iron-blooded lance hit the shield in the background. The newcomer yelled, "Sister Xia, the guardian beast root thorn is -2,500, and the logistics health bar is flashing red. We can't last half an hour. The crisis is coming like a tide, and the system-wide server announcement roars, Iron-Blooded Alliance, 4 guilds joint guild battle preview. Maple Shadow Dynasty's mineral vein forest is wiped out on 2 fronts, and the tree monster god eggs are revenged. A total of 500,000 people will be crushed to start the war. Player forums exploded, hot posts, the dream of the rise of the dynasty is broken. A complete analysis of the 4-level ambush exceeded 1 million likes, and the passerby hunter smiled bitterly. Feng Ying's solo god pet is so awesome, the guild battle panel pulls the hips, 3,000 trash fish fight 100,000 in total to feed the 500,000 army, live broadcast and other corpses. The iron-blooded crazy sword channel roared, and the screen cut to the cavalry formation, blood-red cloaks hunting, the cold light of the spear flashing the blood moon, the crazy sword ID gold exploded with a combat power of 9,500, and he smiled ferociously. Feng Ying, the prediction of the hidden boss in a duel is 0.05 seconds, the beloved soul will bite you and burst your ass, I'll grab it. The Wind Wolf clan's arrows hissed, the trees shattered and rotten juices flew everywhere, the poisonous snake alliance's fog poisoned the ground, and the mad lion tank roared to the sky. The formation is 80,000 blood thick, and the Maple Shadow can't get in. Yiji handed over the jade slip tremblingly, her green eyes gleaming in despair. President, retreat to the depths of the forest first, and teach you the advanced pet skill, Soul Shadow Clone. The Shadow Demon's 3-body DPS will be increased by 1.5 times, easing the siege. But the hatching egg, the blood crystal is hopeless. Chen Feng nodded, and the beloved soul merged with the ghost thunder to suppress the backlash. He teleported and pulled Yi Ji deep into the shade of the tree. The shadow demon war beast escorted with a low roar, and the thundering falcon and green feather circled with a thunder arc to warn. On the way, the iron-blooded scout ambushed, and the bow poison hissed locked. Yi Ji screamed and leaned back. 10 people are invisible at LV-22, points -1000 per second, we are fragile and weak. However, Chen Feng's shadow bite field instantly opened, and the reflected dark damage -600 per second exploded the scout's health bar, and the shadow blade flashed -20 at 00 × 5, the scout leader knelt down and broke his bow, his voice trembling, one person to clear the ambush. The fusion DPS peak is 9000, the field is full of blood, and the divine step predicts the blind spot. Yi Jixing's eyes widened slightly, and panic turned into shock. The operation is stable, but the main force of the 4 guilds is close, and the total DPS exceeds 300,000 to suppress the situation. Gu Xing on the guild channel reported urgently, President, the recruitment of elites has been successful. 20 LV-28 swordsmen and 15 LV-26 mages have joined. The total battle has increased by 90,000, and the number has stabilized at 2,900. However, the mine has been lost, there are 5,000 units of blood crystals left, and the ancient phoenix egg is stuck in hatching. During the video, Xiao Zhixia's robe was torn, and frost fireballs were fired continuously -1200 to assist in clearing the mobs. Brother Feng, the logo has been optimized to Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow, the whole guild's pet speed +15%, the hidden damage +25%, but the iron-blooded cavalry crashed into the hole, the butcher remnant was resurrected at level 30, and the DPS was doubled. The newcomer kneeled down and begged to retreat. The newcomer warrior Tong Ling's eyes widened, and his axe hit the ground with a clang. Deputy Gu, the 4 guilds' encirclement is reduced by 100 meters, the lance penetration is -2200, we can't stand the tank, the guild battle preview is on, and the whole server is watching the battle 5 million. Chen Feng and Yi Ji teleported to the flank of the vein, and lava cracks loomed under the blood moon, the entrance to the intermediate dungeon, lava fortress, the heat wave was rolling and sulfur was choking his nose, the lava, gulu, was bubbling and the red light reflected on his face. He quietly entered the dungeon to level up, sweep across the lava fortress to increase combat power, and resolve the crisis. Yi Ji followed up with weak legs, and the edge of his green robe was ironed. LV-30-40 Lava Guard DPS 2000 Group Brush, Boss Lava Lord's blood is 120,000 AoE, 3000, our team is in trouble. But the guild's elite gathered at the 30th, and Gu Xing's voice was filled with excitement. The elite team has gathered, the total battle is 20,000, and the mark buff is added. The LV-28 swordsman in the team stared and swallowed, the leader leads the team. 11,800 lava. But the 4 will follow, and the dungeon exit is set up. In the dungeon, the magma river surged, bang, the heat wave burned the skin, the lava guard LV-32 iron chromium hammer hit the ground with a bang bang, -2500 shock wave swept the field, and the vine whip turned into a rock spike with -2800 piercing the ground. The new swordsman knelt down with his shield shattered and yelled, 1500 DPS peak can't stand the crowd's ridicule, the health bar evaporates, the guild leader saves me. Chen Feng's pet soul dodges, the ghost thunder shadow blade, boom, cuts -3200 × 10 in a row, a total of 30,000, the guard hammer decapitates the head and explodes the magma, pop, the field rebounds -700 per second of the whole team's milk. Yi Ji's apricot eyes protruded, and the wind fox assisted the wind blade -1000, one person clears the tide. 3 clones have DPS 12,000. During the magic skill teaching, the lava health bar melted. The elite legs softened and worshipped, the president operates the textbook, the total damage peak is crazy, and the dungeon progress is 80%. Xiao Zhixia broadcast live remotely, blue eyes flushed, Brother Feng Lava Fortress ranks first in the DPS god list, the guild level soared to LV-38, and all orange equipment materials exploded. But the countdown to the 4-guild war is 10 minutes, and all the mineral veins are occupied. Gu Xing's recruitment spree, elites have joined more than 100, 200 elite corps have joined, and the total battle is 120,000 health. The forum is Avalanche, the rise of the dynasty in crisis. The lava clearance video has exceeded 10 million, and the PK competition is warming up, but the iron-blooded ambush is a public battle. Can the dynasty survive? Yi Jiu simply passed the skill, ancient phoenix egg, the blood crystal barely hatched for 5,000, the egg shell cracked with golden light, the phoenix shadow eagle burst out of the shell with a cry of, GA, the dark thunder dual attribute plus 800 growth beast, the panel jump, Chen Feng LV40, the combat power is pre-expected to break 20,000. Chen Feng raised his lips, fused his beloved souls, and fired the two ghostly thunders into the sky, one-on-one. The fog shadow teleported around the root, shadow bite plus thunderstorm stacked, boom, minus 2,800 critical hit. The tree demon's roar shook the forest trees, and it warmed up by devouring it with its huge mouth. The poisonous juice dripped on the sand and smoked, but Chen Feng's shadow step predicted 0.05 seconds to dodge, and the soul-eating chops exploded with a core, 3,500 armor penetration. Yi Ji stared and trembled, sweating in her green robe. One person can suppress 80,000 HP defense. Fusion of DPS 8,000 plus, Thunder Shadow penetrates the poisonous fog, and the magic operation is broadcast live on the whole server for 30 million. The magma sea roared and boiled like the gates of hell wide open. The red molten stream sputtered in all directions. The smell of hot sulfur mixed with the stench of burnt flesh and bones hit the nostrils. The lava lord's claws clicked to tear the void. The health bar of the LV40 giant beast surged to 1.5 million, and the hook tail whip swept minus 4500 AOE swept the entire field. The shields of the new swordsmen were shattered and flesh and blood spattered, and the screams of, "Ah," echoed harshly. President, the boss's hook and claw single grab minus 3,500, the sea of blood dot minus 800 per second. Our crispy HP 30,000 evaporated, and the dungeon is closed. Yi Ji. The edge of the green robe was burnt and curled, the almond eyes were as round as copper bells, the jade legs trembled and fell to the ground, the fingertips tightly grasped the wind spirit fox pet sack, the voice shook like a broken leaf in the wind. The soul shadow clone is not yet proficient. The divine eagle has just hatched and grown to level 1. Dark thunder plus 800, and the blood crystal supply is cut off and cannot evolve. For the scouts can break through the door and hide 30 people, the DOT poison cloud minus 1,200 per second spreads the field, the iron-blooded crazy sword comes in person with a combat power of 9,500 and is equipped with, venomous snake Dioviset. The guild war is open on all servers. We have a total battle of 120,000 and 500,000 coalition troops. And the mineral forest is both lost, it's over. The guild channel turned red like ashes. Gu Xing's gold-rimmed ID flashed wildly and his voice was hoarse and cracked. Guild President. System announcement, Iron-Blooded Alliance, Guild War has officially begun. The Maple Shadow Dynasty or Vein Forest Lava was wiped out on 3 fronts. The total battle was 500,000 vs 120,000, and the number of live broadcasts exceeded 15 million. The Sihue cavalry hit the outer wall of the dungeon with a bang, the Viper assassin's foggy shadow rushed into the DOT to warm up, the Wind Wolf's arrows locked the air with a hiss, the Crazy Lion tank blocked the road with 100,000 health defense, and the rookie tank knelt down with its shield shattered and killed 20,000 in total. The number of people was 2850, and the elite corps was 200. The video screen of Qiao Zhixia at the far end was shaking violently. Tears rolled down her blue eyes and stained the torn edges of her moon-white robe. The scent of lavender seemed to be swallowed up by bloody rust. The remains of her frostfire staff fell to the ground with a bang. Her fingers flew around to optimize the panel, but it trembled and was inaccurate. Brother Feng, the iron-blooded traitor in the mine has been resurrected. The Butcher's Remnant Party is swiping at level 30, and the total DPS is 4 times that of us. The Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow, Symbol buff speed increases by 15% and barely milks the blood, but the blood crystals are left with 4,000 hatchings and the condor is weaned. The K/D ratio in the guild battle is 0 to 5,000, and we are crushed. The iron-blooded mad swordsman's mocking voice echoed across the channel like thunder, and the scene cut into. The blood moon reflected his blood-red cloak hunting, the cold light of the cavalry flashed, and the combat power was 9,500 gold explosion. The tide of 5,000 elites surged behind him, the cavalry's iron hooves shattered the rock wall with a bang, and the poisonous snake assassin's green eyes flashed. The poisonous mist of DOT corroded the ground. He grinned and bared his teeth. Maple Shadow, so what if your solo tree demon is awesome? I am ambushed in the lava. I personally led 2,000 iron-blooded cavalry plus 4 alliance forces to predict your shadow step for 0.05 seconds. I grabbed the smelting pet equipment of Condor Egg. The whole server is watching the Guild War live. The total battle of the dynasty is 120,000 pieces of paper. After the annihilation, I annexed the symbol buff. The avalanche of barrage in the live broadcast room is like a volcano erupting. Iron blood is crushed by 500,000 people. +1 for the dissolution of the dynasty. The hot forum post, the end of the dynasty. Lava boss plus full analysis of the 4 ambushes has exceeded 2 million likes. The player hunter laughed sourly and said, the number 1 in the DPS list can't save the guild. 500,000 total battles, the hatch of the condor is a waste. The beloved soul in Chen Feng's chest burned back like fire, the thunder pulse buzzed and tore through the meridians, and the purple light of the fog shadow cloak dimmed, but his eyes were as cold and motionless as a mountain, and his mind was running fast. Lava Lord Blood 1.5 million AoE violent, the 4 scouts had 30 stealth DOT blood pressure, the guild war collapsed on the 3rd line. The total battle was 120,000 versus 500,000, the mineral vein was lost and the blood crystal supply was cut off, the growth of the Condor LV1 was stuck. The situation is desperate on the surface, but the lava river in the dungeon terrain is narrow, the boss's hook claw blind area can rebound in the shadow field, the scout has a crispy DOT without a tank, the iron-blooded mad sword cavalry is bulky and slow to enter the field, Gu Sheng's elite core 200 can flank the field, Xiao Zhisha's Farand ice and fire control. Yi the auxiliary DPS of the Jihuan shadow clone is doubled. The breaking point, first, solo the lava lord to explode the orange equipment materials, hatch the condor to evolve the clear scout, then single out the crazy sword to shock the coalition forces, and use all the sign buffs to reverse K/D. He thought about lightning in his mind, sneered and murmured, just in time. Yi Ji, fully activate the soul shadow clone, fuse the divine eagle's dark thunder with my body. Gu Sheng, flank the mine with hidden passages, dragging the cavalry for 10 minutes. Xiao Zhixia, double lock the ice and fire boss's hook, control the scout DOT cloud. Yi Zhixing's eyes widened, and the panic in her green eyes suddenly turned to shock. With trembling jade hands, she passed the jade slip to the soul shadow veins and injected it into Chen Feng. Hui, President, the clone 3 shadows DPS 1.5 times the stacked condor plus 800 growth, the peak fusion is 25,000. But the backlash HP minus 30%. Before he could finish the words, the ancient phoenix screamed, "Ga," and shook the sky, the golden shell shattered, the green-gold phoenix shadow circled and the thunder arc exploded, the dark thunder attributes surged all over Chen Feng, the shadow demon war beast roared and merged, the thunder falcon and the green feather thunder net protected the body, his figure, buzzed, split into 3 shadows, the blood light of the shadow blade, hissed. The combat power panel gold exploded soaring. LV40 Shadow Sword Master, total combat power 21,800. The Lava Lord's hook claw boomed to grab him, Chen Feng's main shadow teleported to the blind spot, the 3-part body flashed and the shadow bite field opened and closed, the rebound dark damage minus 1,200 per second, the explosive hook claw's health bar dropped wildly, the blade light continuously slashed 3,800 times 15, a total of 57,000, the magma CAOE, 4,000 rebounded the field milk back to the whole team. The new swordsman glared at the round copper bell eyes, and the axe landed with a clang, and his legs softly worshipped. The 3 shadow clone DPS is crazy. The field rebound milk is full, the boss loses 30% of his blood, the president's magic skills textbook. In the video, Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes were red and bright, and the scent of lavender seemed to hit her nostrils from a distance. The 2 wheels of her staff, frost and fire, clicked to lock the hook, freeze -2500 deceleration plus fire rain -2000 DOT, perfect field control, brother Feng, ice and fire dual control boss action -50%, scout DOT cloud freeze and clear. I'll pull the new mage group milk from the mineral vein, and the logo buff will be optimized. Hamper damage plus 30%. Gu Xing's channel shouted excitedly, Guild Master's calculation. The elite corps of 200 swordsmen and mages are gathered in an instant, the cavalry is heavy and stuck in the terrain, the total battle is 130,000, the number is back to 2,900, the newly joined LV-30 tank has 50 health defense and 150,000 blocks the way. The new assassin on the guild channel turned around and refreshed the screen, Vice Guild, solo boss plus ambush, the DPS peak reaches 2.5, and the K/D reverses 1 o'clock, our beloved army takes off. The iron-blooded scout stealthed and broke through the door and hissed out. The DOT poison cloud sizzled on the rotten rock. The level 28 assassin leader, with green eyes and a ferocious smile, locked onto Chen Feng with a short blade, shadow step prediction, poison explosion -1800 combo. But Chen Feng, Feng Yingying, swooped down with a hidden thunder. Explosion -4500 range clear cloud, 3-point blade shadow intertwine -4200 × 9 total 38,000, the scout's health bar evaporated and he knelt down to explode the equipment, the leader's bow broke and he trembled, one person clears 30 hidden thorns. The growth of the condor plus 800 thunder arc rebound, the milk blood of the gods has no solution, the iron-blooded defeat. The lava lord roared, boom, and swept with the hook tail whip. Chen Feng's main shadow shield blocked the blood iron heavy shield, with a rebound of -3200. The 3 shadow side flash field rebound was -1500 per second superimposed. Xiao Zhixia's ice and fire lock tail slowed down by 80%. Bo the SS lost 60% of its health and was left with 600,000. The magma burst -5000 AOE completely reversed the milk. The new mage girl had bulging almond eyes and screamed in worship, Sister Xia has dual control gods, the president's clone has a DPS of 30,000 peaks, the dungeon progress has increased by 95%, and the orange equipment materials have exploded. The whole server live broadcast barrage reversed the avalanche, Maple Shadow is against the sky. Solo lava plus clear scout, divine eagle dark thunder phoenix shadow is awesome, the total battle is 130,000, and the counterkill K/D is 10:1, the dark horse of the dynasty is immortal. The iron-blooded mad sword's face was ashen, the lance buzzed and rushed into the copy, and the cavalry behind him iron hoofs boom, stuck in the narrow path of the lava river, with a combat power of 9,500, he smiled ferociously, what's the chance of a small victory? I'm going to single you out, and the poisonous DOT set predicts the shadow step, and the magic egg is snatched. Chen Feng's thoughts changed again, the crazy sword cavalry is bulky, and the blind area of the hook claw can lure the enemy. The Phoenix Shadow fusion bursts and kills in an instant, shocking the coalition forces. He smiled faintly and teleported to attract hatred, come. The mad sword and gun light stabbed -2800, Chen Feng's shadow shield blocked the shock -2000, the 3-body outflanked the blade flash -4500 × 6, a total of 27,000, the mad sword's health bar dropped by 40% HP and left 50,000, the poison DOT 1000 rebound area was ineffective, he glared the eyes turned from a grim smile to fear, DPS peak 35,000. The clone predicts 0.01 seconds, the Condor Thunder Arc penetrates the armor, the magical skill is unexplainable. The Phoenix's Dark Thunder exploded -5,200 direct hit, the Mad Knife kneeled down and exploded the Viper Diotiset, purple suit, the voice was intermittent, iron-blooded. Guild Master defeated. Maple Shadow God of War. The Guild Battle System announcement roared, Maple Shadow Dynasty, killed the iron-blooded sword, K/D reversed 500:3000, the total battles soared by 150,000. Gu Xing flanked the elite corps and rushed forward, the swordsman slashed with an axe -2,500 group of sweeper cavalry, the mage rain of fire -1,800 cleared poisonous snakes, the tank's blood defense blocked the rain of arrows, and the newcomer roared to the sky, Deputy God Gu command. 500 flanking cavalry, resource blood crystals. The mines are counterattacked, and the daily production is back to 10,000 units. Xiao Zhixia used the ice and fire double control windlocking wolf arrow array, and the frozen cloud plus hot AoE, 3000 cleared the field, with tears of admiration in his blue eyes, Brother Feng, a great victory. The blood crystals are pouring into the hatched eagle LV5 and the growth is plus 1200. Yi Zhixing's eyes were blurred and his arms were wet, the soul shadow clone is skilled, the boss's last health is 200,000, and it will grow in seconds. Chen Feng's main shadow jumped up, the fog shadow cloak was full of purple light, and the three parts of the body gathered together and the blade light was buzzing, shadow devouring phoenix thunder slash, ultimate, -6800 times 3 total 20,000 directly hit the head of the lava lord, the hook and claw broke and the magma spurted wildly, the boss knelt down and exploded the mountain of orange equipment materials. Lava Phoenix armor, all plus 300 pet equipment exclusive, Rock Thunder Heart, divine. Material. The dungeon cleared with golden light, the guild level soared to level 42, the total number of battles exceeded 180,000, and the number of people was 3,200, with 500 elite cores. The whole server forum exploded, the dynasty has defeated Iron Blood. The resources of the blood crystal veins have been annexed and fully controlled, the crazy sword has a single kill and explodes the set, the DPS god list is permanent, and the pet army dominates. But the boss of the dungeon, the lava lord, awakened, boom, the magma sea boiled with -4000 AoE, the hook claw -3500 single capture, the 4 scouts broke through the door and rushed in, and the iron-blooded mad sword taunted, Maple Shadow, ambush in the lava. 5,000 elites are pressing the border, I will grab the condor egg, destroy the whole family. Outside the blood moon, beacon smoke was everywhere, black clouds were pressing on the city, and murderous intent was like a tide. Gu Xing's excited voice broke, President, the Resource Annexation Fund has soared 500,000 gold. Recruited LV-35 masters to break 200 to join, and the total battle lock is 200,000. Xiao Zhixia's logo is customized, Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow Melting Armor, the guild's exclusive pet outfit plus all attributes plus 200 pet speed plus 25% hidden damage plus 40%, Nirvana Resurrection CD is halved. Xiao Zhixia's voice smelled of lavender, and her blue eyes were full of water mist, Brother Feng, the finished product, Blood Shadow Sword Set, has been smelted to have a full attribute of plus 400, and the Divine Eagle's pet armor will grow like crazy. Yi Jian continued, the Soul Shadow is ready to advance to Phoenix Shadow 9 points, and the guild's pet army is invincible. The blood moon is like a weeping eye, the residual heat of the lava fortress is steaming, the blood crystal veins on the scorched earth are buzzing and pulsing with a daily output of 10,000 units of golden light flashing, the Maple Shadow Dynasty Guild's resident level 42 golden glow is flourishing, and the elite core 500 level 35 masters are fortified with iron walls. However, dark clouds cover the sky for the remnants of the fourth meeting, the poisonous snake assassins are disappearing in the green mist, the wind wolf cavalry is far away and the iron hooves are low, the forum hot post, dynasty wins by chance. The iron-blooded mad sword kills falsely, the abyss of the abyss intelligence, LV-50 serial boss has a total health of 20 million, dual mode triggers Super Xinyuan Demon, Maple Shadow's pet army overturned and disbanded. After reaching 5 million likes, passers-by players laughed sourly and went crazy, the total battle was 200,000 pieces of paper, the blood crystals in the veins were wasted to hatch the condor, the hidden dungeon is the highest difficulty in history, the DPS god list is also kneeling, +1 for live broadcasts and other jokes. Gu Xing's Phnom Penh ID channel flashed wildly, his voice was hoarse and his legs were weak against the wall. President. The remnant party of the 4th Association, 20,000, will fight against the dark clouds. It is predicted that we will enter the abyss and cut off our retreat. Although the K/D of the guild battle has been reversed, the resource depletion is not stable. The newly joined LV-35 tank's blood defense of 200,000 cannot stop it. Wind Wolf Arrow Rain AOE, 3,000, the live broadcast exceeded 30 million, the whole server watched. Tianyuan entrance Yuan Phone Rotten Bone DOT 1500/second, the intelligence shows that the chain boss group LV50 Hook Chain Soul plus Yuan Demon King Blood 5 million 10 consecutive kills, no one knows the history of, 500,000 of our elite core's crispy skin has evaporated, it's over. Yiji's green robe was wet with sweat and her almond-shaped eyes were as wide as copper bells. Her jade legs were trembling and she threw herself into Chen Feng's arms. She clutched the wind spirit fox pouch tightly on her fingertips and whispered like the wind, President, the 9 points of soul shadow are ready to backfire on HP. -50%, Condor LV5 Dark Thunder Growth plus 1200 Fusion Peak DPS 40,000. But the Abyssal Demon has 10 consecutive instant kill ranges of 10 yards, and the blood of the Divine Realm cannot keep up. The intelligence reveals the secret plot, but the 4 will ambush and seal the door. Our total battle of 200,000 Black Cloud Alliance troops has doubled. Xiao Zhixia's video was shaken violently. Tears rolled down her blue eyes and stained the edges of her moon-white robe. The lavender scent was swallowed up by the bloody rust. Her Frostfire staff fell to the ground with a bang, and her fingers flew to optimize the Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow Melting Armor logo surface. But the board was inaccurate and trembled, Brother Feng. The traitor in the 4 guilds in the mine is resurrected at level 40 Butcher and the remnants of the party have a DPS pressure of 5 times. Lava Phoenix Armor, pet equipment has plus 300 in all attributes. The exclusive blood crystal is cut off and the incubation is stuck. The guild buff pet speed is plus 25%. Dark damage plus 40% Nirvana CD is halved and barely enough. The chain boss Abyssal Wind Poison Mist minus 2000 per second on the whole map. The ice and fire dual control deceleration fails. Our K/D ratio falls back to 0 to 1. The live barrage avalanche is the end of the dynasty. The public screen of the whole server turned red like blood, and the passerby hunter laughed sarcastically. So what if Feng Ying's solo lava is awesome? Jianyuan's LV50 group fights, the Abyss Demon will kill 10 times, and the Black Cloud Alliance swallows the mineral veins, plus 10,086. The beloved soul in Chen Feng's chest backfired and burned his meridians, the fog shadow cloak dimmed with purple light, and the thunder pulsed, buzzing, and tearing. But his eyes were as cold as the abyss, he sneered and murmured as motionless as a mountain, and there was a flash of lightning in his mind. The abyss is layer by layer, and the abyss is wind blind. The shadow bite rebounds, the chain boss hook chain is crispy and the soul lock is easy to break. The Divine Eagle's fusion of 9 clones DPS explodes the group in seconds. The Abyss Demon's 10th company predicts the Shadow Step dodge in 0.01 seconds, defeats its sure kill, reveals the secret, and shocks the Black Cloud Alliance army. Gu Sheng, the elite core 500 or veins are defended by the iron wall, and the hidden passages on the flanks cut off the Black Cloud supply. Xiao Zhixia, the chain hook chain of ice and fire locks, the optimization mark buff dark damage stack plus 60%. Yiji, the soul shadow 9 points are fully injected, the sacred material of the condor, heart of rock thunder, fusion with my body. Yi Zhixing's eyes suddenly turned to panic, and her jade hands trembled as she handed over the jade slip with 9 soul shadows. Hui, Guild Master. The 9 clones DPS peaked at 60,000. The ancient phoenix screamed, Ga, and shattered the blood moon. The golden shell exploded and the green-gold phoenix shadow circled and the thunder arc splashed wildly. The divine material, heart of rock thunder, melted into lava phoenix armor, with a buzz. All attributes of pet equipment were plus 500. The dual attributes of dark thunder surged Chen Feng. Body, the shadow demon war beast roars, the thundering falcon merges with the green-feathered condor, the thunder net body protecting figure, buzzes, and splits the 9 shadows, the shadow blade bloodlight, hisses, in unison, blood shadow sword set, has a perfect attribute of plus 400 gold explosion, and the total combat power soars to 30,000-65,000. The new member of the guild channel, Tank Shield Dang, fell to the ground and worshipped with soft legs. 9 clones DPS is crazy. The growth of the Condor plus 2000 lightning arc armor penetration, the logo buff plus 60% hidden damage has no solution, and the president, the father of the god of war, takes off. The entrance to the abyss tears apart the void with a rumbling, the bottomless black abyss and the rotten wind, whooshes, blows in the face with a stench like 10,000 corpses rotting mixed with sulfur and blood. The abyssal wind DOT 2000/second spreads layers of narrow passages, and the LV-50 chain boss group hook chain, clicks, soul lock flashed with a total health bar of 20 million. The first wave of abyssal soul guards hook claws grabbed minus 5,000 AOE and swept across. The new mage's HP evaporated and screamed, ah, harshly, President, chain soul lock minus 4,000 slowed down by 80%, and the health bar dropped DOT. Stack 10 layers, we will explode. But Chen Feng's 9 shadows teleport into the blind area, the shadow bite field buzzes, and the rebound is minus 2,500 per second, the explosive hook chain crisp point, the 9 clones blade light is cut continuously 5,200 times 45, a total of 230,000, shadow devouring phoenix thunder slash, warms up. The first wave of Lei Bao, 8,000 range was cleared. Yuan Hun knelt down and blasted the mountain of blue equipment. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes flashed brightly in the video and she screamed, Brother Feng's 9 shadows DPS 60,000 peaks. The double hook chain of ice and fire is broken, the DOT cloud is frozen and cleared, and the logo buff is optimized perfectly. Gu Xing flanked the ore veins and roared excitedly, President's calculation. 500 elite cores, 200 iron wall swallowing black cloud scouts, 220,000 total battle locks, 3,500 people, 100 new LV-40 swordsmen join the blood defense, 250,000 arrows blocked, Black Cloud Alliance card Yuan Feng DOT pulls the crotch. The second wave of Yuan Demon Guards blood 3 million was beaten by the Yuan Wu explosion, 6,000. The hook chain soul lock chain pulled the new tank's shield and the blood was splashed. Yiji's green eyes were round and her jade legs were weak and she fell to the arm. The guard Yuan Wu penetrated armor DOT minus 3,000 per second, the divine eagle fused with milk and blood cannot withstand it. Chen Feng smiled lightly and the main shadow drew hatred, 9 shadows outflanked the shadow step and locked the soul for 0.02 seconds, the phoenix shadow dived and the dark thunder exploded minus 9,500 AOE clear fog, the blade shadow intertwined minus 6,800 by 36, a total of 240,000 instant kills of the guards, the whole team's HP was full due to domain rebound, and the new assassin's almond-shaped eyes were bulging and he screamed in worship, one person can clear the chain group. 9 clones predict the soul lock, the Condor Thunder Arc destroys, the DPS God list is a textbook. The whole server live broadcast barrage reversed the volcano, Maple Shadow defies the sky. Tianyuan kills LV-50 in a row at every level, the fusion of the Condor 9 shadow pets is awesome, the total battle is 220,000, overwhelming the Black Cloud K/D50:1, the dark horse of the dynasty dominates. The third wave of the Abyss Soul battle. Sweeping the HP 4 million hook tail whip to minus 7,000 violence, the remnants of the 4 meetings broke through and the invisible poisonous assassins rushed into the DOT to warm up in the green mist. The leader of the Wind Wolf shook his bow and laughed ferociously, Black Cloud ambush, Yuan Demon warms up and kills in 10 consecutive rounds. But Chen Feng was heartbroken. The power of thought is transferred, mist shadow cloak, flourishes with purple light and teleports into the blind area, the divine eagle, GA, thunder net shield field rebounds DOT 4000, and the 9 shadows gather together, shadow devouring phoenix thunder slash, the ultimate, boom, 12,000 times 9 total 100,000 directly blasting the war general's head. The hook tail broke and the abyssal mist sprayed out wildly with a pop-pop force. The poisonous assassin's health bar evaporated and the area was cleared. Gu Xing's voice roared, outflanked the wind-swallowing wolf with 500, the daily output of mineral vein blood crystals is 20,000, and the capital is soaring to 800,000 gold. At the end of the layers, the ultimate boss, the Abyss Demon King, arrives with a rumbling. His body of black abyss is illuminated by the blood moon, with a health bar of 5 million. 10-clawed abyss thorns hiss, with an instant kill range of 15 yards, 15,000 and a sure kill lock on Chen Feng. The stench of the rotting wind hits the nostrils and the rotten bone DOT 4000/second is the whole picture. Passers-by live broadcast the avalanche prediction, the abyss demon will not be able to solve the 10 consecutive attacks. Feng Ying's solo overturned, and the 9 shadows of the eagle also knelt down, the first kill in history. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes burst into tears, Brother Feng, I can't control the ice and fire for 0.1 seconds in 10 consecutive preheats. Yi Zhixing's eyes trembled, the soul shadow's backlash is at its peak, if you can't hold on, you will kill. The new tank's legs were weak and he knelt down, the boss's claws are at the speed of sound, and the DPS god is evaporating. Chen Feng's eyes were as motionless as the abyss, his shadow step reached the limit and he flashed 10 claws in succession for 0.01 seconds. The fog shadow cloak buzzed, and the 9 shadow dislocation fields fully opened and rebounded, 5,000 per second superimposed abyss thorns to self-destruct. The divine eagle and phoenix shadows circled with dark thunder. Penetrating the armor and protecting the body, the main shadow of the blade charged up and jumped up, come. The Yuan demon roared and rained claws with boom ka and swept 10 consecutive kills. Chen Feng's 9 shadows dodged and predicted the trajectory layer by layer, and the wind of claws wiped the body and whooshed to tear the void. The smell of burnt flesh and blood splashes everywhere, but the domain milk and blood does not hurt. The first claw counterattacks and the boss loses 20,000, the second claw swallows the blood bar and loses 50,000. The 10th claw's extreme shadow step flashes sideways for 0.005 seconds, shadow, phoenix devouring thunder slash extreme, boom and buzz, thunder light gathers to destroy the world and destroy the world, dash 25,000 times 9 total 220,000 directly hits the core of the abyss demon, the black body bursts into the puff fountain of abyss blood, and the first kill on the kneeling ground reaches the sky with golden light. The system announcement roared across the server, Maple Shadow Dynasty, kills the Abyss Demon King for the first time in, Abyss of the Abyss. The epic divine outfit, Abyss Overlord set, has all attributes plus 800, attack speed plus 50%, armor penetration plus 100%, the total guild battle soared to 500,000 LV45, and the number of elites is 5,000 with 1,000 cores, number 1 in DPS/total battle/pet troop rankings in the whole server. The boss's corpse-exploding divine outfit shines in the mountains, Chen Feng's full set of attribute gold bursts to a total combat power of 100,000, and the guild logo, Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow Tianyuan Overlord, buff sublimation pet damage plus 80% resurrection without CD. Xiao Zhixia's video was filled with the scent of lavender, blue eyes and water mist, and she screamed in admiration, Brother Feng's epic set. Ice and fire have a tacit understanding of the field, the mine is stable, the capital is millions, and the logo is perfectly customized. Yi Ji fluttered her arms, her almond-shaped eyes were blurred, and her legs were weak. 9 The soul shadow is at its limit, the beast taming information is invincible, and the new divine pet is ready. Gu Xing roared, the president's first kill shocked the entire server. Recruiting level 45 masters to join, the remaining members of the Black Cloud kneeled down and begged for mercy, and the total battle was locked for 600,000. But the system's mysterious private message dinged, and Yi Ji's green eyes flashed. President, the hidden copy of Abyss of the Abyss in all servers has been unlocked. The boss has super blood of 5 million, and it is triggered in a duel. Rumors reveal the secrets of the game. The remnants of the 4 conferences vowed revenge, and the dark clouds are rising again. Under the blood moon, the residual heat of the lava is billowing, and murderous intent is faint. The entire server forum exploded with 50 million live broadcasts, kneeling and licking the avalanche, Father Maple Shadow God of War. Solo Yuan Mo's 10 consecutive dodge maneuvers, the epic set ranks first in the entire server, the favored military dynasty will dominate forever, please join the club and lick the screen. A passerby player headhunter eyes widen and trembling, he worshipped, DPS peak 100,000 textbooks, serial kills and destruction, the Black Cloud Alliance army will fly away, and Dad will fly away. The leader of the 4th Association, with green eyes and fear, said intermittently, the Abyss Demon is the first to be killed. Feng Ying is invincible. Black Cloud is disbanded. The afterglow of the blood moon is like a long river of weeping blood, the stench of the Abyss wind fills the exit of the Abyss, the black blood of the corpse of the Abyss Demon boils and evaporates on the scorched earth, the golden light of the epic divine outfit, Tian Abyss Overlord set, piles up the mountains, Chen Feng's fog shadow cloak rolls with purple mist, the 9 shadow souls, buzz, return to the main body. The fire-burning meridians in his chest are faintly painful, but his eyes are as cold as knives, and he smiles and murmurs, start the national war. Dragon Kingdom Cavalry, beautiful server Mad Lion a total battle of 2 million. Come on. The ID of the 1000 LV45 master in the guild channel flashed wildly, and the newly joined tank shield, Dang, fell to the ground and worshipped with a soft voice, guild leader Solo Yuan Mo's 0.01 second shadow step flash. The total battle peak is 100,000 black clouds, and the daily production of 20,000 blood crystals in our iron wall mine exceeds 1 million gold. Who dares to touch porcelain? The public screen of the whole server was red, and the Dragon Kingdom Cavalry President, Cavalry Crazy Lion, Phnom Penh ID flashed the screen with a ferocious smile. Feng Ying was lucky enough to get Tianyuan's first kill. The solo chain LV50 group was extremely lucky, and the 100,000 DPS peak of Shenying 9 Shadows was just paper. National War Border, Relics of the God of War, Hidden Boss Guardian LV55 with a total HP of 30 million, Hook Lock God's Domain plus Fighting Explosion, 20,000 AoE sure kill, no one in history has triggered the duel mode, our cavalry has a total battle of 1 million the Iron Hoof trampled the mineral veins, swallowing Tianyuan resources and disbanding the dynasty. Lion King Roar, Vice President of the American server Mad Lion Alliance, commented with a sneer, Dragon Kingdom Clown, Maple Shadow's solo overturned the live broadcast and died of laughter for 50 million. OT 5000/second for the whole map, Guardian Battle Axe Sonic / 25,000 for 5 consecutive hits, our Crazy Lion battles with 1 million lion roars to shock, Cross-Server Alliance K/D crushing 50:1, Mine Vein Blood Crystal daily output of 20,000 is mine. The hot post on the forum exceeded 100 million likes, Maple Shadow's end on the eve of the national war. Iron Cavalry Crazy Lion information, the entrance to the God of War ruins is blocked by a sandstorm, the LV55 Guardian's domain slows down by 90% and sucks blood plus 100%, the duel mode triggers 5 consecutive kills with no solution, the pet army buff is invalid, and the 9 shadows of the Condor kneel down and explode, the DPS is cleared. The total battle of the dynasty is 600,000, and the live broadcast is +1. The passerby player smiled sourly and refreshed the screen. What if Maple Shadow God of War's father Tianyuan is awesome? The National War Powerful Alliance has a total battle of 2 million, and the HP evaporates for a solo, kneel down and beg for mercy. Gu Xing's voice was hoarse and his legs were weak. His sweat rolled down and soaked his gold-rimmed shirt. His fingertips were tightly clenched on the diplomatic panel and he was shaking, President. The Iron Cavalry Crazy Lion diplomatically blocked allies and refused to win over. All the small and medium-sized guilds in the Dragon Kingdom turned against each other, and the border sandstorm information was overwhelming. 20th floor, 10,000 per second, the Guardian Battle Axe has 5 consecutive sonic soul locks, the Divine Domain has unlimited blood-sucking milk, the guild's LV-45 Elite Core evaporates with 1,000 HP and 80,000 HP, our training camp's pet army is strengthened and stuck, the new divine pet hatches and the blood crystal supply is cut off. The national war opens the mineral vein and is lost. Yiji's green robe was wet with sweat, her almond-shaped eyes were as round as copper bells, and her jade legs were trembling and fluttering against Chen Feng's arms. The wind spirit fox's pet pouch was, woo-woo, in panic, and her fingertips were flying. The animal taming panel was inaccurate and shaking like chaff, President. Soul Shadow 9 points limit counterattack CD 24 hours, Condor, Heart of Rock Thunder, Fusion Dark Thunder grows plus 2000 DPS, peaking at 100,000, but the pet damage in the domain of the God of War ruins is halved. The group magic skill development, Thunder Phoenix Swarm Bite, failed to warm up. The 5 consecutive sure kill range is 20 yards, armor piercing and ignores armor. The total battle of our pet army is 200,000, which cannot withstand the iron hooves of the coalition. Xiao Zhixia, the video screen shook violently, tears rolled down the blue eyes, the scent of lavender was swallowed by the bloody rust of the sandstorm, the frost fire staff fell to the ground with a snap, the finger optimized, Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow Tianyuan Overlord, the war sign panel trembled, Brother Feng. The National War Border Cavalry Scouts blocked the entrance to the ruins, the sign BUFF pet damage plus 80% resurrection no CD speed plus 25% dark damage plus 60% infinite nirvana is barely enough, but the Guardian's fighting spirit explodes minus 20,000 AOE to clear the field, the ice and fire dual control slowdown fails, our K/D ratio collapses, the live broadcast exceeds 100 million, and the whole server laughs at the dynasty collapse. The beloved soul in Chen Feng's chest burned back and burned, but his eyes were as cold as the abyss, and he sneered and murmured that lightning flashed in his mind, the shadows in the blind area of the border sandstorm rebounded, the Guardian Battle Axe was fragile and easy to break, the DPS of the 9 clones of the Condor exploded in God's domain in seconds. The 5 consecutive predictions of 0.005 second limit dodge, and the explosion of legendary equipment shocked the coalition forces. Gu Sheng, the diplomatic ally of the small and medium-sized guilds of the Dragon Kingdom, all the blood crystals in the training camp have been invested in the pet army to strengthen and win over LV-50 allies. Xiao Zhixia, the war symbol, Feng Lei War Spirit National War, optimizes the immunity of the Divine Domain plus 50% ice and fire lock axe. Yiji, the Soul Shadow 9 points are heavily invested, the development of Thunder Phoenix Group, Devour, the group magic skill is injected into the whole army. Gu Sheng's golden eyes suddenly turned to panic, and he stood up with weak legs and yelled, the President's calculations. The total number of 100 members of the diplomacy panel of the Iron-Blooded Guild has exceeded 800,000, and the number of elite corps has exceeded 2,000, and all the Black Cloud remnants are on their knees. The ancient phoenix cries, Ga, and tears apart the blood moon. The green-golden phoenix shadow of the condor circles around and the thunder arc splashes wildly. Tianyuan Overlord set, has plus 800 gold explosion veins for all attributes, and the 9-point jade slip of the soul shadow is fully injected into Chen. Maple, the shadow demon war beast roaring thunder falcon fuses to the limit, the dual attributes of dark thunder are destructive and surges all over the body, blood shadow sword set, has perfect attributes plus 400 attack speed plus 50%, critical kill and armor penetration plus 100%, and the total combat power reaches a peak of 150,000. The new assassin's almond-shaped eyes bulged and he screamed in admiration, the DPS of the 9 avatars is crazy 3 times the peak of 120,000. The symbol buff is immune to the divine realm, the pet army's Thunder Phoenix swarm destroys the sky, and the President's National War Father takes off. The entrance to the ruins of the border god of war ripped apart the yellow sand with a bang, the sandstorm whooshed and hit the face with a stench mixed with ancient rust and blood. The Yuanfeng Dot 5000/2 paved the sandy road, the LV-55 Guardian roared dash, the war cry shook the ground, the black iron god's body health bar surged to 30 million, the battle axe clicked, the sonic 5 chain souls flashed, the first wave of ruins war souls grabbed -8,000 AOE with their claws. The 20,000. Strong cavalry and Mad Lion coalition army closed the door with a low cry of iron hooves, and the US server's Mad Lion roared, boom. Yuaning taunted, Maple Shadow sends his head. The Guardian God's domain activates unlimited blood-sucking, and our coalition's K/D crushes it. The new mage's HP evaporated and screamed, ah. The harsh smell of burnt flesh and blood spattered, President, the 5-chain soul, 6,000 slows down by 95%, the health bar drops 15 times, and the DOT stacks 15 times, and the crispy skin explodes. But the system's grand announcement thundered, National War System is activated. The whole server is divided into national regions. The alliance of powerful countries, Dragon Kingdom Cavalry, and American server Mad Lion, have a total war of 2 million and are eyeing the Tianyuan resources of Maple Shadow Dynasty. The cross-server war is about to begin, and the black clouds are no more than pawns. Under the blood moon, the abyss wind howls faintly, and the murderous intention of the national war is coming like a tide. Break through the second wave of ruins. War generals have blood of 5 million. Group fights. War fog explodes, 10,000. Battle axe locks souls and pulls newcomers. Tanks are smashed and shields are broken. Blood and flesh spatter with a stench of rust. Yiji's green eyes widen. Her jade legs are weak and she falls to her arms. Almond-eyed water mist, war general's war fog penetrates armor DOT -7,000 per second. The fusion of the divine eagle's milk and blood cannot withstand it. Chen Feng smiled lightly and the main shadow drew hatred, and the 9 shadows outflanked the shadow step. Flash lock soul in 0.003 seconds, Phoenix Shadow dives into the dark thunder blast, 20,000 AOE clearing fog, Blade Shadow interweaves, 9,500 by 45, total 420,000 kills the general instantly, domain rebound milk, the whole team's HP is full, the rookie swordsman's almond-shaped eyes bulge, scream and kneel down in worship. One person clears the LV-55 group. 9 clones predict the divine realm, Thunder Phoenix Swarm destroys the DPS god list forever and is a textbook. The reversal of the barrage and the live broadcast of the whole server exploded and exceeded 100 million, Maple Shadow's war against the heaven. The border ruins instantly killed the serial level 55, the fusion of the 9 shadow pets of the Condor is awesome, the total battle is 1 million, overwhelming the coalition K/D 100:1, the dynasty cavalry dominates. The golden eyes of the Mad Lion leader of the cavalry were round and his legs were soft and trembling, his voice was intermittent. The Guardian battle axe is crisper, 9 shadows DPS has no solution, allied forces are pulling the crotch. The third wave of ruins Guardian blood 6 million battle tail whip sweep, 12,000 violent, the American server Mad Lion breaks the door, the lion roars, the poisonous cavalry mist rushes into the DOT to warm up, the Lion King roars, the bow breaks, the sound of shaking, the smile turns to despair, the allied forces ambush, the 5th company in the divine realm will kill. But Chen Feng's thoughts turned, and the purple light of the fog shadow cloak teleported to the blind area, and the divine eagle, GA, thunder net shield field rebounded DOT 8,000, and the 9 shadows gathered together, shadow devouring phoenix thunder / national war extreme, boom and buzz, 30,000 times 9 total 270,000 directly blasting the head of the divine guard. The battle tail broke and the war fog sprayed wildly with a puff puff. The poison cavalry's health bar evaporated and cleared the field. Gu Xing's voice roared and broke, diplomatically win over 500 members of the Dragon Kingdom's level 55 guild. The total battle lock is 1.5 million vein blood crystals, with a daily output of 50,003 million gold. At the end of the layer, the ultimate boss, the guardian of the god of war ruins, arrives with a rumble. The blood moon reflects his black iron god's body. The health bar surges to 30 million, and the 5-axe war blade hisses, with a sonic killing range of 25 yards, 3,000 chain of 5 hits to lock Chen Feng. The stench of the divine domain is astounding and rotten to the bones. DOT 8000/second sandstorm whooshes across the entire map, tore through the void. Passers-by live broadcast the avalanche prophecy and kneel down and lick. The Guardian has no solution for 5 consecutive attacks. Feng Ying's solo overturned. God's realm sucks blood, and the condor kneels and explodes. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes turned to panic and she burst into tears. The arms and legs were soft and blurred. The Soul Shadow has unlimited backlash, and the Thunder Phoenix pet army is fully activated. The leader of the Iron Cavalry Mad Lion, Yuanying Iron Hoof, stagnated, his legs were soft and weak, and he roared in despair, the milk in the divine domain is infinite. The DPS is cleared, the coalition forces are defeated. The Guardian roared with axe rain and boom kaka, with 5 consecutive sure kills and swept the sonic trajectory to warm up. Chen Feng's eyes were deep and motionless, and he flashed 5 axes in a row in 0.002 seconds at the limit of shadow step. The fog shadow cloak buzzed, and the 9 shadow dislocation fields were fully opened. Rebound, 10,000 per second, the superimposed war blade self-destructs, the divine eagle and phoenix shadow circle around with dark thunder piercing the body, and the lightning arc snaps, splashes wildly with the smell of burnt flesh and blood. The main shadow of the blade charges up and leaps up, destroy. The first axe counterattacks the boss. 50,000 iron filings were dropped, and the second axe, shadow devouring, lost 100,000 health bars. The fifth axe, the ultimate shadow step, flashed sideways for 0.001 seconds, tearing the void and hissing, shadow devouring phoenix thunder / legendary extreme. Boom and buzz, the thunder light gathered to destroy the world and the sandstorm collapsed, 50,000 times 9 total 450,000 hit the core of the Guardian, the black iron god's body exploded and the divine blood, puff puff puff, fountain poured down like iron rain, kneeling down to kill the golden light rising into the sky for the first time. The system announcement thundered across the server, Maple Shadow Dynasty, kills the Guardian of War God Ruins, for the first time. The legendary divine outfit, War God Overlord set, has all attributes plus 1500 attack speed plus 80% critical kill armor plus 200% divine immunity. The total battle of the guild soared to 2 million LV55, and the number of people was 20,000 Elite Core 50,000, number 1 in the total battle / pet army / one-on-one duel list in the whole server. The Boss Corp's explosion legendary equipment is as bright as the galaxy. Chen Feng's total combat power of a full set of attribute gold explosion exceeds 50,000 and 200,000. The buff of the guild logo, Foam Lei War Spirit National Sorrow, is sublimated and pet damage plus 120% is invincible in God's domain and is instantly resurrected. Xiao Zhixia's video was fragrant with lavender, blue eyes, and water mist. She screamed in admiration and her legs were weak. Brother Feng is the legendary god. The tacit understanding of ice and fire field control, 5 million or funds, complete customization of the symbol war, and the pet army is invincible. Yiji fluttered her arms, her almond-shaped eyes blurred, and her jade legs trembled. The legend of 9-point soul shadow, Thunder Phoenix Swarm Devour, group magic skill, the whole army's DPS is off the charts, and the new god's pet is hatched with 10 heads. Gu Xing's roar shocked the border, the president's first kill shocked the national war. All the diplomatic Dragon Kingdom LV55 major alliance knelt down and locked up 2.5 million in total. The leader of the Black Cloud Iron Cavalry and the American server Mad Lion, with green eyes and fearful voice, knelt down and begged for mercy intermittently, relics of the god of war solo. The legendary set is invincible. The coalition forces are disbanded. The mineral veins return to the dynasty. Iron the leader of the crazy lion riding, with his iron hooves shattered and his legs soft and trembling in worship, Father Maple Shadow God of War, 5 consecutive 0.001 second dodge operations, a total battle of 2 million ashes. I regret provoking. The Lion King of the American server roared and the Shadow Lion roared intermittently in despair, the divine domain self-destructed, the 9 shadows were destroyed, the Mad Lion was defeated and asked for an alliance. The whole server forum exploded and the live broadcast exceeded 200 million. The barrage was kneeling and licking the avalanche of enthusiasm. Maple Shadow is the god of war forever. The solo guardian has 5 consecutive sonic flashes, the legendary set of the only DPS in the whole server to peak at 200,000, the favored army dynasty cavalry. Please join the club, lick the screen and worship Dad. The passers-by and players from the novice village to the main city stared round-eyed, trembling, worshipped and shouted. The total battle is 2.5 million textbooks, a series of instant kills to destroy the country, fighting the dark horse to dominate forever. The peak of player interaction exceeds 100 million. But the system made a grand announcement: registration for the Contest of Kings, all server competition is open. Dragon Kingdom/US server power competition, reveal the secret story of the game, the secret of the origin of the Void Continent. Maple Shadow Dynasty is the first release. Under the blood moon, the roar of the sandstorm is faint, the king's murderous intention is like a tide. Chen Feng holds the sword with a smile, and the shadow-devouring lightning pulses undyingly. The afterglow of the blood moon slowly faded, and the yellow sand on the border of the God of War ruins calmed down like golden waves. The stench of rust, blood, and scorched earth gradually dissipated, turning into a breeze blowing through Chen Feng's fog shadow cloak. The purple mist pulsed gently, and the golden light of the God of War tyrant set was restrained like a sleeping star. He sheathed his sword with a faint smile, and the shadow-devouring thunder light sizzled at his fingertips. Legendary orange suits were piled up like a hill around the boss's corpse, and the blue-purple halo reflected the round almond eyes of the new players. Their legs were soft and they knelt down, sweat beads rolling down the sand with a tat-tat sound, and the tank shield dropped to the ground with a clang sound and trembled intermittently. President. The God of War Overlord set has all attributes plus 1500 and 200% immunity to the divine realm. 5 consecutive shadow steps for 0.001 seconds in a solo, DPS peak of 200,000 textbooks. Our total battle lock is 2.5 million. The daily output of mineral vein blood crystals is 5 million gold. This is the peak of the dynasty. Gu Xing's gold-edged shirt was stained with sand, and the roar of the voice channel turned hoarse and cracked with excitement. He stood up with weak legs, and the diplomatic panel on his fingertips flashed, ding-ding, wildly, the aftermath of the president's first kill. All Dragon Kingdom LV-55 major alliances knelt down, and the total battle of 500 guilds soared by 3,000,000, and the number of elite corps exceeded 30,000, with 8,000 elite corps. The leader of the Black Cloud Cavalry, the Mad Lion in the American server, with green eyes and fearful voice, begged for mercy intermittently, Father Maple Shadow. The coalition forces were disbanded and all resources were donated, and the mineral veins returned to the dynasty. The whole server system announced thunder, and the king competed for hegemony. The registration for the group stage of the competition is full, and we are the first in the Dragon Kingdom. Yiji's green robe is wet with sweat and clings to the curves of her body, her almond-shaped eyes are blurred and she flutters into Chen Feng's arms. The wind spirit fox snorts in a low voice, while the jade fingers fly and the beast taming panel buzzes into the soul shadow, the ultimate limit of the president's legend. The divine eagle, heart of rock thunder, has a hidden thunder growth of plus 3,000, thunder phoenix swarm devour, has a group magical skill that explodes the DPS of the entire army. The new divine pet has 10 hatching blood crystals, and the pet army has a total battle of 500,000 and is invincible. The dark horse of the national war takes off. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes flashed with tears in the video, and the scent of lavender hit her nostrils as if she had traveled through a sandstorm. She picked up the Frostfire staff and optimized the Phoenix Fighting Soul's National Sorrow logo panel with golden edges, Brother Feng's Overlord set is fully integrated with the Tianyuan, the Divine Domain immunity buff pet damage plus 120% resurrection, instant dark damage plus 60% infinite nirvana. The Ice-Fire dual-lock battle axe breaks the tacit understanding of the god. The logo with 5 million funds was fully customized, and the live broadcast of 200 million barrage, War Godfather is always here. The red wave on the public screen of the whole server turned calm, and passers-by players went to the main city to worship and shouted, "The Maple Shadow Dynasty has a total battle of 3 million DPS and is the first in the god list." The solo Guardian legend has a mountain of equipment, begging to join and licking the screen to worship. The Iron Knight is a joke. The embers in Chen Feng's chest dissipated like warm currents, and he smiled lightly and flashed in his mind. In the group stage of the King of Champions, the top 8 popular iron-blooded remnants of the Dragon Kingdom group battled with 1.5 million taunts and ambush. The champion predicted that the US server Mad Lion League LV60 God Pet DPS peaked 150,000, but the Legend of 9 Shadows plus Thunder Phoenix group devouring could not be solved in seconds. The grand bell of the system, Dong Dong, echoed throughout the server. The floating island in the center of the void continent of the Arena of Kings rose with a rumbling, the blood moon turned green and shone, and the arena sandbox light curtain began the group stage matchup. Maple Shadow Dynasty vs Jagged Remnants plus small and medium leagues with a total battle of 1.8 million. Gu Xing's voice on the podium roared excitedly, "President, the group stage is about to begin. The iron-blooded Crazy Saber has resurrected the remnant party to win over the LV-55 Independents for a total battle of 1.5 million. The public screen teased, Maple Shadow's lucky relic. K/D crushing in the arena team battle. Iron-blooded Butcher's Revenge DPS peak 8,000 God Axe serially ignores God's domain. The live broadcast predicts that we will overturn +1. The yellow sand whirring at the entrance of the arena was blown by the lingering wind. The smell of ancient rust was mixed with the delicate fragrance of green. The 20,000 iron hooves of the iron-blooded remnant party closed the door with a low cry. The golden-edged ID of the iron-blooded Crazy Sword flashed the screen with a ferocious smile. Feng solo is crispy. Group 8 single-game matches. We will fight a total of 1.8 million iron-blooded alliance troops, and the Divine Axe AOE 15,000 pure pet army will disband the dynasty live. The barrage of people watching the battle on the US server rolled with laughter. The clown of the Dragon Kingdom, the champion of the Mad Lion Alliance. Gate level 60 Lion Phoenix Divine Pet DPS 150,000 preheats. Maple Shadow 9 Shadows kneels and explodes. The new mage's HP is weak and his legs are weak and trembling, and his almond eyes scream in panic. President, Iron-blooded Axe DOT stack 5,000/ in seconds. The coalition ambush slowed down by 95%, and our fragile skin evaporated. Yiji's green eyes widened, her jade legs fluttered softly, and her fingertips tamed the beast with a mishandled shaking. The fusion of milk and blood of the condor can't withstand it, and the suppression and pet damage of the divine domain is halved. But Chen Feng's eyes were cold and unmoving, his fog shadow cloak flashed with purple light and he teleported to the blind spot. In the first duel with the iron-blooded Crazy Saber, he roared, the sonic axe chain locked the soul with -12,005 hits, and the stench of the god's domain was worth DOT -4,000 to the whole audience. An avalanche of barrages from passers-by watching the battle. Maple Shadow sends you off. Crazy Knife K/D50:1 has no answer. Chen Feng's shadow steps flashed continuously for 0.002 seconds, and the 9 shadows were misplaced. Shadow Devouring Field, Buzz, fully opened and rebounded -8,000 per second, stacking axes and self-destructing. Iron Filing splashed, ding ding, the Condor's green-gold Phoenix swooped down with a GA, Thunder Phoenix group devouring. The Thunder Net splashed wildly, the armor-piercing 25,000 hidden thunder directly hit the core, the Mad Sword's black blood, puff, fountain knelt down and exploded, and the golden light of the first kill shot into the sky. The system announced, ding, Maple Shadow, 1-1 duel, DPS peaked at 220,000. Gu Xing's roar shocked Poyan and he fell to his knees. President's Magic Flash. All the small and medium-sized alliances on the diplomatic panel kneeled down, and the total battle soared to 3.2 million. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes flashed brightly in the video and she screamed with lavender hitting her nose, Brother Feng's 9 Shadows DPS is invincible. The ice and fire control axe breaks, and the mark buff is perfect in the divine domain immunity. From the second to the 5th game in a row, the iron-blooded butcher resurrected the remnant party and fought with the god axe in a group fight. 18,000 AoE war fog explosion, the coalition poisonous cavalry DOT warmed up, 6,000 per second to block the road, the newcomers' tank shield was shattered and the smell of burnt flesh was splashed everywhere. He screamed, "Ah!" harshly. President, the butcher's 5-chain soul slowed down by 98%, and the HP of the beloved army was cleared. Chen Feng smiled lightly and drew hatred from the main shadow. The 9 shadows outflanked the shadow step and flash locked for 0.001 seconds. Shadow devouring Phoenix Thunder / Legendary Extreme, Boom and Buzz, Thunder Light gathered, 55,000 times 9 for a total of 490,000 seconds to clear the war fog. The field rebounded and the whole team was full of blood. The Divine Eagle and Thunder Phoenix Swarm DPS exploded to clear the field with a total of 600,000. The remaining party kneeled down and blasted the blue equipment pile. Yiji's apricot eyes bulged, her arms fluttered, her jade legs trembled, and she screamed, the legend of Soul Shadow is injected with 9 points. The DPS of the entire army is doubled by the Thunder Phoenix Swarm, 15 new divine pets are hatched, and the total battle of the pet army is 700,000. The live broadcast barrage of the whole server was reversed and hit 300 million, Maple Shadow's 8-game winning streak warms up. Solo operation of LV-55 group gods in seconds, the iron-blooded remnants are reduced to K/D 200 to 1, and the dynasty war takes off with 3.5 million. In the 6th championship, the most popular US server Crazy Lion LV-60 Lion and Phoenix Divine Pet, Roar, the Lion's roar shook the ground and the health bar soared to 5 million. The Poisonous Fog DOT 7000 / second plus Hook Lock God's Domain sucked unlimited blood. Passers-by watching the battle in the Dragon Kingdom laughed sourly and curiously, the 150,000 popular Lion DPS peak can't kneel down, and the Maple Shadow pet army is as brittle as paper. The iron-blooded Mad Sword Yuanying's green eyes panicked and his legs were soft and the voice was intermittent, Lion and Phoenix will kill for 5 consecutive times. Our coalition forces are pulling our hips. Chen Feng's mind whirled, the condor circled the thunder arc and popped to protect the body, the shadow bite rebounded DOT and self-exploded to drop the lion's blood wildly, the 9 shadows teleported in the blind area, thunder and phoenix group bite, group magic skill, boom, thunder blast -30,000 range clearing fog. The Phoenix Shadow dived and Dark Thunder Fusion -60,000 directly hit the core of the Lion and Phoenix, the Divine Pet's black blood evaporated, Gudu, kneeling explosion orange. Equipment exploded, killing instantly in 0.5 seconds. The system announcement thundered, Maple Shadow, has won 6 duels, and the Condor has the highest DPS of 250,000, ranking first in the whole server pet list. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes burst into tears, her legs weakened in admiration, and she screamed, Brother Maple, the Condor is an instant hit. The mark buff pet damage plus 140% Nirvana is instantaneous, and the funds are soaring to 8 million, and the daily output of the mineral vein is 70,000. Sweeping 8 consecutive victories in the group stage, the Maple Shadow Dynasty locked up 4 million people, 40,000 elite cores and 10,000 cores. The leader of the iron-blooded remnant party broke his iron hoofs and worshipped and trembled, Father Maple Shadow God of War. 8 solo games without loss K/D 500:1. The remnant party disbanded and asked for an alliance. Gu Sheng, the border commander, was so excited that his golden robe was wet. President dominates the group stage. The total battle of joining the diplomatic Dragon Kingdom's all-server alliance is 4.5 million. And the live broadcast exceeds 400 million, kneeling and licking the avalanche. Arena Floating Island Qinghui. Sheng, In the semi-finals against the Iron-Blooded Remnants plus Black Cloud Alliance, a total of 2 million ambushes, the NPC referee Ancient Spirit Projection, buzzed, appeared, and the Black Robe whispered hoarsely to reveal, the guardian of the ruins of the God of War, is the projection of the ancient gods of the Void Continent, the secret of the source, the king's battle for hegemony is revealed. The domain of the gods comes from the source of the void. Passers-by in the audience widened their eyes and trembled and saluted. NPC secret plot. Boss God projection. Maple Shadow's first kill against the sky, the key to the source of the dark horse of the dynasty. The semi-finals started. The Black Cloud Poison Assassin Wind Wolf stacked 20 layers of DOT, 9,000 per second to seal the door. The Iron-Blooded Axe Chain, 20,000 AOE exploded with fighting spirit. The Coalition Lion roared, boom boom, and taunted in a low voice, Maple Shadow Team battle overturned. The total battle is 2 million, and the Divine Projection buff has no solution. The new assassin's health bar evaporated and screamed, and the smell of rust hit his nose. President, the Wind Wolf hook lock is slowed down by 99%, and the favored army is cleared. Chen Feng commanded with a smile, guild logo, Phoenix Fighting Spirit, National Sorrow. Golden Mang fully activates the buff Divine Domain Immunity plus 60%, Pet Army Thunder Phoenix Group Bite DPS total explosion of 1 million to clear the first wave, 9 Shadows Main Shadow Bite Field rebounds Milk and Blood infinitely, Shadow Bite, Phoenix Thunder / Legendary Ultimate, the ultimate charge of Boom, Buzz, 65,000 times 9, a total of 580,000, directly blasted the Iron-Blooded leader, the Black-Blooded Iron Rain poured down on his knees and exploded the mountains of legendary fragments, and the Coalition K/D collapsed 800:1 and flew away. Yiji fluttered at her arms and her almond-shaped eyes were filled with water mist, the god of beast taming and intelligence. The weakness of the Divine Projection is the dark thunder piercing the armor, and the fusion of the new divine pet, the 20-headed Thunder Phoenix, has a total battle of 1.2 million. The system announcement shocked the entire server. Maple Shadow Dynasty defeated Iron-Blooded Black Cloud for the first time in the semi-finals. The total battle soared 5 million and LV-60 elite cores reached 15,000. The total battle / pet army / guild list will always be the first in the whole server. The fund is 12 million and the gold veins produce 100,000 per day. On the eve of the finals, the US server Mad Lion plus the European server Alliance had a total battle of 3 million to encircle and suppress the floating island border. The Lion King roared in the distance and smiled ferociously before turning to despair, God Projection. 9 Shadows DPS is invincible. The Alliance ambush failed with a score of 1,000 to 1, begging for mercy and surrender. Gu Xing yelled with soft legs and worshipped, the number of the president has increased again. The total battle is 5.5 million, the total battle is 6 million, the secret plot of NPC is the key. Xiao Zhixia's lavender-scented blue eyes screamed, Brother Feng's throne is broadcast globally. The secret of the void source is waiting for you. But Chen Feng's 9 shadows teleported to the blind spot of the sandstorm, and the buzz of the shadow bite field was fully open to rebound the dark damage -6,000 per second to explode the war soul crisp point, and the 9-point body blade was slashed continuously 7,500 times 54 for a total of 400,000. PS 12 10,000 peaks. The ice and fire dual lock tomahawk is broken, the DOT sandstorm freeze is cleared, and the foam lay fighting soul national sorcerer, mark buff is perfect. Gu Xing's border flank roared excitedly, the president's magical skill. The total DPS of the training camp's pet army, 200 guilds, was 1 million, and the cavalry scout devoured K/D80:1. In the center of the Qinghui floating island arena, the king's bell, dong dong, roared like a thunderous heartbeat across the server, blood-red murderous aura surged like the tide, and the stench of rust and rot mixed with the roar of lions and the fishy wind blew into the nostrils. The American server's Mad Lion Alliance and the European server's Iron Eagle were in a total battle. 3 million iron hooves, bang, to block the edge of the floating island, the LV-65 Lion and Phoenix Divine Pet, roar, spray poisonous mist DOT 10,000/second to warm up, and the hook locks the divine domain to suck blood and twist the air infinitely. The leader of the European server Iron Eagle, Jean Tong, flashed the public screen with a ferocious smile. Feng solo is a fluke. In the finals, the top 5 single-handedly defeated the boss in the boss mode with a total of 3 million, and the divine projection buff Lion Phoenix DPS peak 200,005 consecutive kills. Pet the army is cleared and the K/D is infinite, and the dynasty is disbanded. The live barrage of 500 million laughter rolled like an avalanche. The Dragon Kingdom clown is overturned. The Crazy Lion and the Eagle Alliance are the favorites, and the Maple Shadow 9 shadows are evaporated, and they are predicted to be disgraced. Gu Xing's golden robe on the podium was soaked with sweat, his legs were soft as he held up the railings, and his fingers on the diplomacy panel flashed wildly and turned gray. His voice was hoarse and intermittently panicked. President. The top 5 in the finals LV-65 Lion Phoenix Iron Eagle Stinger has a total DPS of 250,000, and the God's Domain hook lock slows down by 99% plus DOT stacks 30 times, 15,000 per second. The elite cores are all wiped out, and we can't stand it with a total battle of 6 million. The whole diplomatic server is watching the battle with lion roars and taunts. The dark horse of the dynasty is going to be beheaded. Yiji's green robe was sweating against her skin, and her almond-shaped eyes were round and filled with mist. Chen Feng's arms crooked and his jade legs trembled, the wind spirit fox whined in miniature, and the beast taming panel was out of place and buzzed. The fusion of the condor, thunder and phoenix cannot withstand it. The health bar of the lion and phoenix is 8 million, and the blood is infinite, and the pet army's total battle is cleared to 1.2 million, a new divine pet. The 20 hatching blood crystals have been exhausted. The newcomer's tank shield, clang, fell to the ground. The smell of burnt flesh hit his nose, and his HP was weak and screamed harshly, President, the European Eagle Iron Wings AOE, 25,000 cleared the area, the floating island border is blocked and there is no way. We have evaporated. Xiao Zhisha's video picture showed blue eyes flashing with panic and tears. The scent of lavender seemed to be distorted by poisonous mist. The frost and fire staff clenched her fingers to optimize the Foam Lay Fighting Spirit National Sorrow logo panel with trembling gold edges. Brother Foam. Allied forces in the Divine Domain suppress pet damage by 70%. Ice and fire field control breaks. Funds 1200. I can't even buy it back with a daily output of 100,000 yuan. The live broadcast barrage is avalanche. The dynasty is going to die. Passers-by from the novice village to the main city's public screen turn to curiosity. Feng Ying's 8-game winning streak in the semifinals. The top 5 of the 3 million Alliance Lion Phoenix have no solution. God of War's father K/D is on the cliff to beg for mercy. Chen Feng smiled lightly and remained still. The purple light of the fog shadow cloak buzzed lightly. The God of War Overlord set merged with the abyss, and the golden light was as restrained as the abyss, and the fingertips of the shadow-devouring thunder light sizzled to gather momentum. The final bell rang, boom. The first powerful US server Mad Lion LV-65 Lion Phoenix boss mode was triggered. The floating island sand table, bang, cracked open the Blood Moon Phantom. The lion roar shook the sky. The hook locked the Divine Domain, pop, locked the soul for 5 consecutive times. 30,000 DPS peak 200,000. The poisonous fog and the stench of rotting bones filled the field of vision and distorted it. The barrage watching the battle laughed wildly. Feng Ying sends you. The Lion and Phoenix Divine Realm is immune to Shadow Bite and evaporates in 0.1 seconds. Yuan Ying, the leader of the Crazy Lion, smiled with green eyes and then stiffened. Must kill lock. K/D 100:1 reservation. But Chen Feng's eyes were cold and shadowy, and he flashed blindly for 0.0005 seconds, and the 9 shadows were misplaced. Shadow-devouring domain, buzzing, was fully opened and rebounded. God's domain, 20,000 per second stacked explosions, the lion's blood dropped wildly, and the condor green-gold phoenix shadow, GA, circled and dived. Crazy splash of armor piercing, 40,000 range clear fog, dark thunder fusion, shadow devouring phoenix thunder / legendary extreme, Tianyuan fusion, rumble, thunder light convergence, 80,000 times 9 total 720,000 directly blasted the core of the lion and phoenix, the black blood, puff, fountain evaporated. The lion and phoenix kneeled down and blasted the legendary orange armor pile of golden light into the sky. The system announced a thunderous, ding-ding, Maple Shadow, 1-1 duel in the finals. The DPS peak of 300,000 will remain on the duel list of the whole server forever, and the Divine Eagle pet list will have 350,000 DPS. Gu Xing's legs went weak and he knelt down and roared. Shen Poyan's golden robe was soaked, and the fingertip panel flashed. President's Divine Flash 0.005 seconds. The total battle of the diplomatic European server is 6.5 million. Yi Zhixing's eyes bulged and he fluttered his arms, screaming, and his legs were paralyzed. The Soul Shadow 9 points of the legendary army are injected. The total battle of the Thunder Phoenix pet army is 1.5 million, 25 new divine pets are hatched, and the DPS is doubled. Killed the second strongest European server Iron Eagle LV65 Iron Wing boss in a row, Iron Wing Sonic AoE, 35,005 waves of fighting explosion plus DOT stacking 40 layers, 18,000/second, the Divine Domain suppression attack speed was reduced by 80%, and the floating island rusty feathers were pungent in the face. The new assassin's health bar was cleared and he screamed, "Ah!" Iron Wing minced meat was flying. President, there is no solution to the blind area of the Iron Wing hook lock, and the HP of the beloved army has evaporated. Chen Feng's main shadow drew hatred and the 9 shadows outflanked him and teleported. War God Overlord set, gold explosion plus 250% trigger, shadow bite rebounds with infinite milk blood, Condor Thunder Phoenix Swarm DPS explodes with a total of 800,000 clearing wing mist, Phoenix Thunder / ultimate, boom buzz buzz, 90,000 times 9 total 810,000 seconds blasts the core. Iron Eagle Black Blood and Iron Rain pour down to destroy the blue and purple armor landslide. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes burst into tears in the video, and she screamed with lavender in her nose and her legs softened in admiration. Brother Feng Tianyuan is fused with the Divine Domain and has perfect immunity. The sign buff plus 160% Nirvana is instantaneous, and the funds soared to 15 million, and the live broadcast exceeded 600 million, kneeling and licking the avalanche. The third and fourth strongest poisonous Sting Black Thorn LV66 assassinates the boss in a series. Hook lock DOT 20,000/second stacks 50 layers, slows down 99.5% plus unlimited blood sucking in the Divine Domain. The rotten stench is like a pile of corpses, and the chain is the army's iron hoof taunted in a low voice. The Maple Shadow is crispy and poisonous. The K/D of the top 5 is scheduled to be 200:1. Yi Zhi's green eyes panicked and her jade fingers trembled to sift through the sieve, and the beast tamer failed. The pet damage of the Black Spine Poison Domain is reduced by 80%, and the Thunder Phoenix cannot withstand it. Chen Feng Danxiao's pet Soul Fusion, Dark Thunder Phoenix Shadow Tianyuan Overlord, Body Protecting Thunder Arc, Pop Bang, Self-Destructed DOT, 9 Shadow Step 0.0003 seconds Flash Lock, Shadow Devouring Domain Feng Lei Guoshang, buff fully opened and rebounded -30000/second. The Eagle Group's Thunder Eating Explosion has a range of -50,000. The Phoenix Thunder / charges, Rumble, 100,000 times 9, a total of 900,000 double seconds to clear the area, and the Black Thorn kneels to explode the legendary fragments with golden light. Gu Xing was so excited that she sweated profusely and her legs softened as she worshipped. The president's beloved soul is invincible. The total battle is 7 million elite cores and 20,000, and the entire major league in the server kneels down to show off their diplomacy. The fifth most popular global Shadow Fox LV67 ultimate boss in the Japanese server, the Shadow Fox's clone is a 100-layered divine realm. The Phantom Mist has a DPS peak of 250,000 plus and must kill Shadow Bite. The rebound is ineffective. The Phantom Mist is sweet and greasy. The Fox fragrance is mixed with poison and pungent. The floating island sand table distorts passersby's barrage to hunt for strange things. Laughing, the nemesis of Maple Shadow. Fox Shadow K/D 500:1 champion is scheduled, the dynasty is over. The new HP of the team knelt down weakly, trembling, screaming, rust and bloody noses. President, the DOT stack in the blind area of the Beiying clone is infinite, evaporate. Chen Feng's mind turned to, God of War Overlord set, Soul Shadow Extreme, all attributes plus 500 attack speed plus 90% gold burst trigger, Jiuying's home dislocation fusion of the Condor, Heart of Rock Thunder, Dark Thunder growth plus 5000, Thunder Phoenix group devouring, cracking, group God the total skill DPS exploded to 1.2 million clear phantom fog, and the shadow devouring Phoenix Thunder slash had the ultimate explosion of, boom, buzz, 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 120,000 times 9, with a total of 1,080,000 direct blasts to the body of the Fox Shadow, and the hundreds of shadows disintegrated, the black blood fox fire burned the sky, and the divine armor exploded with orange light and piled up mountains. The system announced to the sky, Maple Shadow, 5 consecutive wins in the finals, all singles cleared, total DPS peak of 400,000, divine domain immunity, 300% pet soul fusion textbook. The top 5 were wiped out, and the guild final battle broke out. The Maple Shadow Dynasty's 50,000-strong Iron Army roared and charged, while the coalition's remaining 3 million iron-hoofed lions roared to seal the gate of the god's domain and suppressed it. The crazy lion leader Yuanying's green eyes were desperate and his legs were soft and his voice was intermittent. The top 5 solos explode instantly. K/D is scheduled to be wiped out in the general battle of the coalition forces. Chen Feng commanded with a faint smile, the guild's logo, Feng Lei fighting spirit, national sorrow, golden mang dashing buff divine immunity plus 80% pet damage plus 180% resurrection instant shadow damage plus 80% infinite nirvana, pet army thunder phoenix swarm devours 25 new divine pets DPS total 2 million, the first wave of poisonous mist. 9 shadows domain rebound milk blood, the whole team is full and undamaged, shadow devouring phoenix thunder slash legendary extreme, ultimate soul shadow, the entire army charged up, rumble, 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 150000 times 9, a total of 1.35 million AOE, directly bombarded the core of the coalition forces, the lion and phoenix iron wings, black blood, iron rain, flesh, charred and stinky flesh evaporated, K/D 2000:1 collapsed. Gu Xing roared from the podium and knelt down, causing the golden robe to shatter. The president is invincible in the final battle. The total battle soared to 8 million, with 60,000 people and 25,000 level 65 elite cores. The daily output of the mines was 150,000 and the capital was 20 million for the whole server. Resource dominance. Yiji fluttered her arms, her apricot eyes were filled with water mist, her jade legs were trembling, and she screamed, information from the beast taming god. A total of 2.5 million Thunder Phoenix overlords dominate the entire server, and the new god's 30 soul shadows are fused forever. The system bell, dong dong dong, echoed throughout the server, the king's champion's golden light rose to the sky and the floating island flourished, the NPC ancient spirit referee's black robe projection buzzed and expanded, and the ancient spirit's hoarse whisper revealed the ultimate secret, Maple Shadow Dynasty, the king competes for the first crown. The guardian of the god of war ruins is the projection of the source of the void continent. Players can fuse the fragments of the gods to turn the true god into the void forever. The gate of the source opens, and a new era has arrived. Passers-by in the audience eyes widened and trembling, he bowed in worship, and beads of sweat fell to the ground. Rusty blood turned to golden light and fragrance, the ultimate plot of NPC. Maple Shadow merges with the true god. The dynasty rules forever, the dark horse that is the source of the king's key. The live broadcast broke 800 million barrages, kneeling and licking the avalanche. Fengying's father is on the throne of all servers. 5 consecutive solo seconds, LV67, the top 5 final battle, K/D 2000:1, favoring an army of 2.5 million, invincible in the god's domain, ruling the void forever. Warmth surged in Chen Feng's chest, and the golden light of the fragments of the gods merged into the God of War Overlord set, with all attributes plus 800 sublimated true god form. The shadow-devouring thunder light sizzled and pulsed forever, and he looked around his friends with a faint smile. Gu Xing stood up with weak legs and burst into tears with excitement. President, true god fusion. The total dynasty battle of 10 million will always be the first in the whole server list, and the elite core of 30,000 diplomacy will rule the world. Xiao Zhixia's blue eyes burst into tears in admiration and she screamed at the lavender scent and collapsed with weak legs. Brother Feng's throne is perfect. The symbol buff is the true god's nirvana and is unlimited, and the capital is 30 million to share the glory. Glory, ice and fire will always be with you. Yiji's green eyes blurred and he fluttered his arms with his soul shadow infused with enthusiasm, shared by the beast-taming master. 3 million new divine pets from the Thunder Phoenix pet army, the tamed divine beasts from the Source Gate take off. The 60,000 members of the entire dynasty knelt down and worshipped the roaring floating island. The Maple Shadow Dynasty rules the void forever. The King's Bell of Qinghui floating island warmed up with a dong dong, and the global live broadcast exceeded 500 million barrage avalanches, the Maple Shadow Dynasty Finals throne. The solo 8 consecutive condors are seconds popular, the semi-finals team destroys the iron-blooded gods, the projection is awesome, the total battle of 6 million pet troops is invincible, Dad takes off to dominate forever. The blood moon disappears, the void murderous intent surges like a tide, Chen Feng holds the sword and smiles, the shadow-eating thunder pulses undying, the secret of the source is close at hand. The system's eternal monument, Boom, stands in the center of the floating island. The golden monument is engraved with the name, Maple Shadow Dynasty, Chen Feng, the first crown of the king of all servers, the key to the source of true god fusion, and the first in the favorite army/guild/dueling/DPS list forever. The blood moon disappears and the green light shines forever, the door to the source of the void buzzes slightly, and the hidden murderous intention is looming, and new adventures are quietly surging. Chen Feng holds the sword and smiles, the shadow bite pulses, the partners share the glory, the throne dominates, the new era of the void continent is opened by Feng Ying.